Sales, Service, and Body Shop in Kings Mountain. They can do it all. Check with their automotive repair shop for all kinds of automotive repair. Plus, they sell tires too. And from a scratch to a big fender bender, they can help with that in their body shop. And on the lot now, take a look at the Shark 2012 Ford Fiesta, priced at only $89.95. Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com.
For 9 straight years, Ewing Insurance Agency in Gastonia has been voted the #1 insurance agency in the county. There's got to be a reason why. Ewing Insurance Agency features over 75 years of combined experience. Whether you're looking for a review of your auto or homeowner's insurance or seeking a customized business insurance package, the team at Ewing Insurance Agency is ready to tailor a plan that's right for you. Drop by their office at 1548 Union Road, Suite C in Gastonia. Visit their website at insuregaston.com. That's Ewing Insurance Agency.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection that fits your life is something that they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and personalizing protection to meet them. From bundling your auto, home, and life insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage based on your protection needs, your Allstate agent can build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And you're in good hands. Contact Cherryville Allstate agent John Brown today for a free quote. Call 704-435-1920.
Hannah Merritt of Crest High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Hannah is a junior at Crest and is the daughter of Wayne and Paylene Merritt. Hannah plays volleyball, soccer, and is on the swim team. She has a grade point average of 4.59. Her advanced courses include government, U.S. history, psychology, human geography, biology, language, and composition. Also calculus and literature. Hannah is the student body president and president of the National Honor Society and member of the Beta Club. She attends Macedonia Baptist Church of Kingstown. Hannah serves as a student fellow at the Math Academy and hosted a blood drive at her church. She also volunteers for the American Legion World Series and is involved in the Community Potato Picking Project. After graduation, Hannah plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill and major in journalism and creative writing. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
We've got sports to talk about last night, today, probably some NFL, probably some NASCAR, probably some baseball. They're talking about sports, and some more sports.
All right, and all this is brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com, for all your heating and air needs. A little cool and crisp this morning, Terry. Better get your heating system checked out, or your wife is going to run you right out of the house.
Yes, you better. Exactly. Yeah.
So call our friends at Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. I know she needs that heating system, Terry, because I know she don't snuggle with you anymore. So you better get her a heating system.
What do you know about Terry and his snuggling situation?
That's what I'm saying.
What just happened?
I don't know what to say. Except sat here.
I know he didn't want to say. He's just sitting there. He's stunned. He didn't know I was going to jump on him that early. I've already got him.
Terry, are you a front or back spooner? I think Terry looks like a front spooner, don't he? He's on the front of the spoon.
That's a good start to our morning.
Anyway,
we'll get the cameras to reset here in a minute. We were playing with them yesterday with the kids. But good morning, everybody. If you listen on the radio, we're live. You can see us here. I think I could be the only one centered up if I tried. We're live here on YouTube this morning on ktcbroadcasting.com. Live on YouTube. Shock Joxx Sports Talk. We do NASCAR, Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NCAA, and North Carolina prep sports, concentrating on the western side of the prep sports. And we had football last night, Thursday night, and we all talked a little bit about all this. And Terry, I don't know how much pregame and in postgame and any of that have you listened to the last few days, but had a little bit of fun. Shelby over at Bessemer, Jeff Jones, and myself went over for that, and I got to see in person the difference between these rosters that we talk about each week. Shelby dressed right at 58, 60 people, and Bessemer had 32 out there, Tom. And
I heard you talking about
you
that.
just see the difference in the amount of people is kind of crazy with that. Shelby won 45-0 in that one, and the most important thing though, Tom, 22-year streak stays intact.
Yeah, but Terry, if you've been listening to the broadcast at all you hear is how he is the last.
It's not all you hear.
It's the last Bessemer City Yellow Jacket
That was
to score.
going to be the trivia question today. But nobody would have known it. But there you go, Tom. Thanks.
I was getting ready to say it.
I wasn't even going to say it. Tom, he's pointing it out, Terry.
I'm listening.
He's the last Bessemer City Yellow Jacket to score against Shelby, and he was going to make that the trivia question today, as if anybody even really knows who Kevin.
Well, nobody's got the last few trivia questions, so we might as well go for that one too.
I was kind of speechless too.
Maybe Dad would have called him and got it.
Calvin would have won tickets on his own.
I just want to point out,
Mom.
Terry, have you ever, if the offense is called for holding and the defense is called for horse collar, what's the ruling on the play?
Both live ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you move it back 10 and then advance at 15?
No. If they're both live ball, they offset.
You ever heard of offset? Yeah, offset penalties. Is that how that works?
If they're both live ball. Now, if one's a live ball, one's a dead ball, then you would do what you did, Terry. Like if it was a dead ball personal foul, you would do the holding, and then you would enforce the dead ball.
Coach Jones and I witnessed a offsetting penalties. The ref even did this, and then play stood. Everything in the play happened. It stood.
Well, the only thing that bothers me,
I'd have had to seen it. I would have had to see it.
There's nothing to see, Terry.
I know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I would have had to see it because that way I would have. You know how it is if you're a ref, man. You don't absolutely. I'd had to seen it.
No. Bessemer punted, Terry. The returner returned it back to the 5. Let's say that. I don't know the exact yard line. The ref comes out there and goes, holding Shelby, horse collar, Bessemer City, and he waves it off. And then me and Jeff, we start writing our notes, and we look back up, and Shelby's hiking the ball at the 5, Tom. What happened? And that was a fun one. We saw a back judge call an offsides. You ever seen that one? On the defense?
Well,
the back judge.
Maybe he had a better view.
Yeah, he had a fantastic view of that one.
Well, it's like what happened to us.
He called it twerking on the defensive line is the only thing he can call. What's he calling?
What happened to us in a soccer match is we had a kid score a goal off a drop ball, and you can't score the goal off a drop ball. Goal went in, started to stop. One guy says, "Hey, wait a minute, we get together and get it right." I mean, that's what you want to see happen. I mean, it's not that people don't make mistakes, but when there's 6 of you, somebody's got to know the rule, right? Somebody's got to know.
Somebody should.
I mean, there's only 3 of us at the soccer match, but I knew the rule. I'm like, maybe it touched somebody else, because you got to touch somebody else. And then somebody came up there and said, "No, it didn't touch anybody." Tom, did it touch anybody down there? No. Okay, wave off the goal. That's what should have happened on the play he's describing.
Yeah.
So, and I just think that what happens is a bit of groupthink. One person thinks the wrong thing, and then everybody else just go, "Okay, the wrong thing must be right." I mean, that's why there's 6 of you out there. You can't be afraid to say, "Hey," to tell the white hat, "Hey, that's not right."
Well, on an onside kick, can the team that kick it catch it in the air?
Supposedly.
Yeah, if it goes more than 10 yards.
Now, there are rules, Terry. I have heard a rule that the ball has to kick. Wait a minute. No, Terry, does the ball not?
Got to hit the
ground. I was
ground.
about to say, does the ball not have to hit the ground?
The ball's got to hit the ground.
On the pooch kick. Now, is that a high school? That's a high school rule.
That's a high school.
That's not a, okay.
That happened to North Lincoln last week.
Okay. I do remember being told, Tom, you're a kicker. You're supposed to know this. I was told when I was kicking off one time that you have to hit the ground. You weren't even allowed to kick off.
Well, we had Brian Ritter and David Cooper, and they were good. I think David Cooper, our kicker,
over here, Tom.
David Cooper, our senior year.
While everybody else had 20.
David hit like 47 PATs in a row,
and they should have took him off.
No, I mean he hit like 47 in a row, and then we had a kickoff man, Brian Ritter, who put him in the end zone. Oh, okay. I mean, I was lucky I got to punt because both of them were trying to take that from me too, but.
Well, they let you punt when they let you punt.
I was able to punt.
They let you punt when they needed a key tackle, right?
What's that? When they needed somebody,
you need a key tackle.
When they needed somebody,
good returner.
If they needed somebody,
if
they needed somebody with the speed, to track down Leon Johnson.
There you go. That's what
I told you, Coach. The last play of the game, Coach called a timeout, pointed in my face. He said, "You kick it to him, you'll never kick it again." And I didn't. I went over to the side. So you kick it to him, you'll never kick again. So I was like, okay. Awesome. I was like, "I'll go kick it to him again." Well, that's back when you could tell kids that. You know what I mean? Now today, if you tell a kid that, they'll probably have to go see his guidance counselor. But back then, it's like, "Look, son, you do that again, you ain't gonna play again. You might as well go buy popcorn, sit with your mama and daddy." But it's kind of getting back to the referee situation. I just think that it is a hard job. I do it. You do it, Terry. We make mistakes. We have brain cramps. We have senior moments. But when you've got 5 or 6, you see what I mean?
Yeah,
somebody's got to know.
Missing a call is different than enforcement, right?
Right.
That's the issue. That's the issue on the day. Is the maybe the 2 guys, Terry, standing down the line of scrimmage should be in charge of the offsides. Just somebody mention that to the back judge.
Again, his view was better.
Yeah. Tom, and Terry, if you're refereeing a game and it's, a lot to nothing, and there's a holding call as the buzzer sounds, do you throw your flag or do you let that one go, Terry?
Say that one more time.
And I'm winning by a lot.
No, you're refereeing.
Oh, the holding.
One team's up 7 touchdowns, and there's a score on the last play of the game with time running 10 seconds to go. The only score of this kid's life and career. Do you throw the flag and call a holding, or do you eat it and go home?
If you see it, you got to call it.
Every play then.
I'm
holding.
Sorry. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you see it, you got to call it. I mean, maybe this is the guy's
We've
first
already
year.
established you have the blackest heart around.
Well, I mean, maybe this guy's his first year. Maybe he thinks, well, if I'm just let this go, and he don't know what the rest of the guys are thinking, so I got to call this. You know what I'm saying?
And in all defense of them too, Terry, everything's on film.
I know, and they're going to go back and they judge you by what you're doing. Right. I mean,
and you know what I would say to the guy above me? I don't care if all 5 linemen wrapped the other lineman up and tried to kiss them through their face mask.
Yeah, but what if this means this young man or whoever's out there going to do a state tournament? He's going to have to call that flag. He's got to throw it.
Terry, I'm sure
that might cost him.
You're right. 100%. There's someone at the state
that's
going to pull up the Shelby Bessemer
film
and say, you know what? When it was 45-0,
you didn't make this
call. And you didn't make this call right here.
I cannot have you doing a state championship because you did not make this call.
Right, but we're not going to ignore the enforcement of the offsetting penalties. That's not going to be a penalty against you. But you didn't call a call will be against you. Because the same referee didn't enforce the offsetting penalties, Terry. Just so you know. Now, with that said, what was funny about it is Tom, the best marine coach, Terry, the best coach, started walking out to him. And, stomping is probably a better word. And as he was on his way to the head official, Terry, every other referee on the field found their flag, and it was raining yellow flags at his feet as he walked towards the head official at center field. The buzzer is sounding, and the other referees are throwing flags at the head coach of Bessemer, who's walking out to have a talk with this referee who called not one hold, 2 back-to-back holding calls, back-to-back touchdowns, Terry. Did you know that part? Because I gave you the one. We scored from 50 with 2 minutes. 20 yards down the field's the holding call. This is where the flag is. Then the next play we reset, clock's winding. 1,000-0. We're over here resetting for the last play, about 25 seconds. We get to hike off, throw it in the end zone, catch, touchdown, score again, back-to-back plays. The 12 people in the band's going crazy. And then we look back here, and the head referee has a flag next to his feet. Back-to-back scores, back-to-back holding calls with the time running out. Now, if you was the head coach, would you have wanted to have a word with the referees on that one? Or do you think he walked out there and told? Do you think he walked out there and told him, "Good call"? We took a touchdown away from a kid in a blowout in order.
Yeah, but there was something happening. You got to throw the flag.
Terry, what percentage of holding on every play in high school?
Every one of them.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Whatever stance you're trying to take over there, Terry. Yeah. No. Wait a minute. I can pull up some Mason Avery highlights. We can go through the offensive line in those, Terry. I got a bunch of them. You think we can find a holding in them?
Great blocking scheme, man. That's us. We fill the gaps.
I'm just saying, come on. Let's have some sense. This is supposed to be fun for the kids.
So we're supposed to just give up a touchdown.
He's supposed to not care that dude just held that other dude on when it's 1,000.
He wants his criteria to be 1,000%.
Oh, he ruined that one earlier already, Terry. That one's way past on the enforcement of the other stuff. Oh, that was awesome. All right, anyway, that was just all right, Terry. We're gonna have a hit of the week this week. We got some highlights from Polk County and Chase and more for the folks. But let's do the scores, and then we've got all kinds of stuff to talk about today. NASCAR playoffs. I was at the Roval. I've got highlights. I was in a key spot in the stands, so we've got some actual video highlights of the Roval, Tom.
All right.
From myself and Austin Lucas Hastings helped me do some of it. We've got baseball playoffs. We got to talk about that. Whatever round we're in. We'll go through all those and get everyone updated.
3 out of 5 now.
Is that what it is?
Divisional series. 3 out of 5.
I don't understand. Why are we going 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 7?
It's embarrassingly
Come
stupid.
on.
The championship series is 4 out of 7. We'll be playing baseball at Thanksgiving.
I mean, come on.
NBA, we got a couple notes on that, and then NFL, of course, we've got the biggest news in the area. Matt Rule has been fired.
What a shock!
Fired from the Carolina Panthers. We got college football picks and more. All right, Tommy, I think I gave Terry. You got the list of scores over too.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'll pull them up here for the people online as well and make this real big so the old fellas here can.
All right. Well, I'll do the left side, Terry.
Why are you gonna do the left side?
Well, there's 3 sides.
Yeah, but I said I'm gonna do the left. 3 of us here.
Got you.
All right, Burns over East Gaston, 44-0. Crest, big over Forest View, 51-7. Cherryville comes back but comes up short. They lose to Thomas Jefferson, 26-20. Chase comes back and beats Polk County, 48-27. Polk had a lead in that game. We'll talk about it. North Lincoln, big over Ford, 55-17. That was tied at 17 at one time, if I remember. And the Shelby Golden Lions, 45-0 over Bessemer City, preserving the great Kevin Hastings record of the last person to score.
Well, it
against
wouldn't have
Shelby.
been if the referee had any heart whatsoever.
The referee was heartless. The referee
Grinch.
was actually Terry Reinhardt.
The Grinch back there.
Yeah. Bandy's over Newton Con over 21-14.
That's a big win.
That is a big win for Bandies. Maiden edges Bunker Hill 36-33. West Lincoln Rebels, your West Lincoln Rebels, 62-20 over West Caldwell. The RS Central Hilltoppers defeat East Rutherford 48-8. Brevard blanks Patton 54-0. And Avery County puts on a clinic and defeats Madison 21-14.
Well, I don't know if that's a final.
You don't know if that's a final?
Final never came in.
Oh,
okay.
That was a third quarter reported score, and nobody, Max Press,
whatever.
NCAA,
You know,
nobody,
you
nobody
just know that Avery County was putting on a clinic.
They were.
Yeah. It was Lincoln and going up to East Burke and winning 21-17. Big win there for the Lincoln and Wolves. It was Kings Mountain 63, Stuart Kramer 24. East Lincoln had no trouble with St. Stephen's 55-3. I think that's only 33 points all year.
Yes.
That's amazing. It was Hickory 56, West Iredell 30. It was Hunter Huss over North Gaston 22-15. South Point 28, Ashbrook 19. It was West Henderson 42, Owen 0. It was North Wilkes 42, Surrey Central 28. East Surrey 52, Fort Bush 7. And Swain County loses to Hayesville 27-7.
Got an update there, Terry. Wilkes Central 26-7 over West Wilkes. All right, Tom, right side.
All right, we've got Statesville over North Iredell 44-13. We've got Watauga big over High Brighton 55-7. Burns owns the only win over Watauga this year. Ashe County loses to Freedom 55-26. Smoky Mountain defeats Franklin 33-17. Pisgah defeats Tuscola. No, excuse me, other way around. Tuscola defeats Pisgah 35-34 in a close one. And that's Irwin versus Robeson 29-9. It's Robeson wins. And the Community School of Davidson defeats, trying to see there around that Coke bottle.
That is Lake Norman Charter.
Okay, Lake Norman Charter 42-0. Mitchell defeats Mountain Heritage 35-14. Murphy over Robbinsville 48-16. Pine Lake Prep defeats Carver 35-6, and Mountain Island Charter defeats Bishop McGinnis. The villains, as I heard you guys talking about them, 28-7.
Christ the King 22-12 winners over Winston-Salem Prep, and Allegheny 41-20 over Elkin. JP, you got a caller? Okay. All right.
I checked match preps, no score on the Ashe County game. Nope, no score.
Ashe County.
I'd like to know
Not
how
Ashe
much
County, Avery
the
County. Excuse me, Avery County.
half and half was at Tuscola Pisgah.
A lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And a 1-point game. Wow.
Yeah,
That
last
was-
year.
it was
You know
over-
they were fighting in the parking
That's what I'm
lot.
saying.
Tom, that was overtime, too.
Oh,
was
my
it?
God.
Oh, Lordy.
A couple of quick notes last night. Polk County's leading Chase 14-0. Ford and North Lincoln was 2-0, 6-2, 11-8, 17-17, then 55-17. Weird scores there. Maiden Bunker Hill went back and forth last night the whole game, it seemed like. Lincoln and trailed pretty much the whole game and comes out victorious 21-17. Terry, they're a 2-point safety call away from being undefeated and 5-0 in the conference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this team has got better, and as the year goes on, it's going to be a big game coming up in a few weeks, but we have to get by next week first. But the last game of the season, and West Lincoln goes to Lincoln, and that could be a battle
That's
for
for
third and fourth.
You're right. Yeah, third and fourth seeding there. Who you guys got next week?
We got East Burke, and we got to survive that.
East Burke's improved.
Decent.
They played some teams tough. They're
Kramer
good.
gave Kings Mountain a scare early. The Kings Mountain blew them out late, 63-24 on that one. And then South Point and Ashbrook was 21-19 late in that game, and then South Point scored late to finish them off for that win. So there's your scores. Top 10, top 15. I got 15 of them here figured out, guys. Number 15, the Shelby Golden Lions. With 4 power points. Number 14, the Ashbrook Greenway with 5. Number 13, the Lincoln and Wolves with 5. Number 12, the Hendersonville Bearcats with 10. West Lincoln is number 11 with 11. They move up 1 spot, Terry, after that one. Statesville, they stay in the same spot at number 10. Crest stays at number 9. Burns stays at number 8. They're all in a 3-way tie, however, now with 14 power points. Burns with the tiebreakers. With the best record at 7-1, Crest 6-2, and Statesville 5-3 on that. 15 power points apiece. Bunker Hill at 7, Chase at 6. Chase with a tiebreaker on that at undefeated 8-0 now. So they're almost in the top 5. They keep getting closer. Maiden stays at 5 with at 7-1 with a victory, 16 power points. Hickory jumps over them. They're now tied with South Point with 17 power points. So Hickory's now 4, South Point 3, both those teams with 17. And then the top 2 teams still, East Lincoln and Kings Mountain. East number 1, Kings number 2, both of them with 23 power points, 8-0. However, Kings Mountain's defense a little bit more leaky than East Lincoln's. East Lincoln's give up 33 points in 8 games, folks. Kings Mountain now has give up 91 in 8 games.
How many games Hickory lost?
Hickory is 6-2.
How many games Maiden lost?
7-1.
And Chase has lost how many?
0.
And they're 6th, and those other 2 teams are ahead of them?
Yes, Terry, we've explained this to you thousands of times.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean the explanation's satisfactory. If the robber goes to court and says, "Why did you rob the bank?" and he says, "Because I needed some money," I mean, that's an explanation, but does that satisfy the judge? I would say no, right? That's kind of the way I feel about this poll. I mean, it's been explained. It doesn't mean I accept the explanation.
Come on.
Come on.
But I will say this, Kevin does not take into consideration the eye test of any of these teams.
No. I don't take any consideration.
You're right, because we'd never be number 11.
It's just points from victory is all it is, Tom.
And you can't move up depending on who's on your schedule. I mean, if Highland takes on your schedule, you ain't moving up.
Schedule somebody better.
There's no way we can't.
Q Tucker needs to schedule somebody better.
There's no way you can.
Tom, last year Shelby was number 1. Didn't have a problem with it.
Well, our non-conference, we played Kings Mountain 3A, Watauga 4A, Crest 3A. I mean, Forest View 3A. What do you want us to do? We played up.
Who beat you?
Who beat us? Kings Mountain.
Okay. We don't get beat by Kings Mountain.
That's how come you're number 8.
You'd be number 2 right now if you'd have beat Kings Mountain. What are you talking about?
There you go. You're number 8 on the count. You could not beat Kings Mountain.
If you would have beat Kings Mountain, you'd be number 2. It's that simple.
You're not even better than Hickory, and they've lost twice.
I understand.
Well, Terry, you know who Hickory's lost to?
I don't know. Throw it to me.
East Lincoln.
Yeah, for sure.
So
everybody's.
So you picking Chase over East Lincoln?
Am I picking Chase over? No.
Okay. No. Sure. You picking Maiden over East Lincoln?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure so there wins your argument.
No, I think East Lincoln probably is the best team in the area. I'm saying once you get on down.
Hickory also lost to Alexander Central. I don't know where they're at right now in the season. If you were
Alexander Central 4-4. Yeah.
Well, are they 4A now?
Yeah. Dale and South Caldwell both are 4-4.
Alexander Central is now 4A.
It's only high school in the county.
So Hickory lost to a 4A school in East Lincoln, Tom, and he wants Chase ahead of whatever.
No comment.
When Alabama loses to an ACC team, any team, are they going to drop more than 3 or 4 spots?
No.
Okay, that's what I hit.
One spot.
If they lose today, they might drop down a little bit.
They're going to fall one spot, Tom.
All right, JP, real quick, I do have, we're going to go to break here in just a few moments. So I was trying to see if we had a play of the night last night, real quick, in some of this. I want to thank all of our guys. I did want to bring this up for Terry. I don't know if you saw this. Our highlight of the week. I do have a highlight of the week. Let's get it up. Let's see. Got to press all the right buttons for the folks here watching online.
Uh-oh.
Highlight of the week, Tom. The legend. Teaching offensive line.
Oh, Steve DeGree. He was there last night. He calls me.
Yeah.
And he says, "Tom, I'm here. You need something, you call me." That's kind of guy he is. He's just a great guy. And I will say I started to call him for a snack, but I forgot about it. There was no nourishment in the press box last night. Of course,
I want to see some more of that.
There was no nourishment. No, we're broadcasters. We need nourishment, man. Come on. No nourishment whatsoever.
I did have one. We tried to smoke them out before the game, Tom, against Shelby, and this was our first play of the game, and Dalen Lee threw a touchdown right through that smoke. I will say this, Terry. I want to see how you would, and before we go to break, if you agree, Terry. I played in these games, so I do know. And this is I've said this for years. You could take our best and we could switch teams, and the scores would be the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Take our quarterback, take Dalen Lee and Jameer Holmes and switch it. The score would have been 45-0 Shelby.
Yeah. Because you're lineman, defensive line.
Shelby's got. Is that true?
Yeah,
when you have a good like Jameer Holmes can throw the ball.
Yeah,
he's a good. My goodness, I did not know. Seeing it come out of his hand, you got to see somebody in person how it comes out of their hand. Kid can throw the ball, whether he wants to be a quarterback or not. That they talk of other positions, but he's got a live arm and a live hand.
That's like being a receiver. You can see them in motion, but once they catch the ball to see if they shift into another gear, and it's a big difference.
Well, how about guys being out of position at the maybe even at the schools they go to? Corin Robinson had to play running back at South Point.
That's South Point, sure.
And he was the NFL wide receiver. So what if whoever somebody come into Crest is going to run the option? You got Javarius Green over here.
Yeah,
it's different. Guys are in different positions. He's even being the long snapper. How many other quarterbacks are doing that? Obviously, probably none.
Ethan Horton in Carolina was a running back. When he got in the NFL, he was a tight end.
Yeah.
So I mean,
defensive end. Holmes is defensive end too. That's where he might end up on a college roster because he's so tall.
He's only 220 though, so it maybe had to put a little weight on it. That'd be an outside linebacker probably. Yeah. But you're right. He's 6'4".
And whether he be a quarterback or not, the playbooks get a little bit more advanced. It's tough at the college.
There's a ton of colleges and a ton of I would say 97% of it's bad quarterback play.
Yeah.
So somebody can have a spot for you, I think, if you can throw it that as far as he can. Like I said, any of these smaller colleges maybe, but he could play to other positions. I just wanted to mention that. And then also, Tom, you've seen Bessemer's receivers. Two or three of them can run.
Yeah. They run back kicks too.
And you've seen them the lines and how that goes. You guys got going two ways as opposed to one way, in protection. So it's interesting seeing the matchup there like live in person. But that was a fun one. We got the highlight of Steve there. And
I'm glad Steve, man. He's a good guy all the way around.
Well, we're going to be back in just a few minutes. We've got NASCAR playoffs to talk. We've got baseball playoffs to talk. We've got NFL Matt Rule. The new era for the Carolina Panthers is Steve Wilkes, right? Local Appalachian State grad. So we'll talk about that and more. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heated and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Green flag is out, and A.J. Allmendinger is out of here.
Allgaier tries to get to the back bumper of Cindric. He won't get it done.
A.J. Allmendinger dives to the bottom of the racetrack, slides up. They make contact.
Oh, Ryan Sieg just moves, it looked like, up into the wall. Ty Gibbs, and it doesn't look like that was necessarily intentional.
It's the Elsko Uniforms 302 from Vegas. Saturday, October 15th at 2:30.
On Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KDCBroadcasting.com. The 30th anniversary sale continues at Essener Auto Sales in Shelby. Come check them out all year long with some great anniversary specials. Find out how easy it can be for you to be one of their satisfied customers. Yes, 30 years ago, Susie and Richie started Essener Auto Sales, striving to give you the best deal possible on a quality pre-owned vehicle. See them today at 417 South Post Road in Shelby, online at srautosales.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. That's Essener Auto Sales in Shelby.
Hannah Merritt of Crest High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Hannah is a junior at Crest and is the daughter of Wayne and Paylene Merritt. Hannah plays volleyball, soccer, and is on the swim team. She has a grade point average of 4.59. Her advanced courses include government, U.S. history, psychology, human geography, biology, language, and composition. also calculus and literature. Hannah is the student body president and president of the National Honor Society and member of the Beta Club. She attends Macedonia Baptist Church of Kingstown. Hannah serves as a student fellow at the Math Academy and hosted a blood drive at her church. She also volunteers for the American Legion World Series and is involved in the Community Potato Picking Project. After graduation, Hannah plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill and major in journalism and creative writing. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Since 1984, Carfair Auto Sales in Gastonia has been selling quality used cars. Buy here, pay here at Carfair Auto Sales. Build your credit with them. They've got some new arrivals this week, including a 2015 Chevrolet Equinox, a 2017 Kia Forte, and a 2017 Dodge Journey. Visit them online at carfairinc.com. Plus, see their page at whatsupshopper.com. But better yet, visit the location at 1320 Bessemer City Road in Gastonia. That's Carfair Auto Sales.
What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world-class for the working class.
And we're back on Saturday More Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys. I think they're going to be talking about highlights right now, looks like, because he's on Twitter, so.
Yeah, if I can hit the microphone, if I can try to be Hunter Yancey for just a second. I'm no Hunter Yancey, but I do want to say that Shelby Heating and Air is bringing you this broadcast. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Get your system checked out today. I believe they have a special on that. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. Kevin?
NCAA football.
Speaking of actually call, we actually have a caller.
Is it Mac Brown?
No.
It's
Dave the one
Dorn.
person who always calls in every Saturday to talk about his Ironman.
Dabo Sweeney?
No, it's Coach P.
All right.
Hey, Coach Pruitt, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
How are you, Coach?
I think JP gave me an awe when it rung. I thought I heard him say, "Oh, there's a phone call." So there you go. But yes, give him a call this morning. I hadn't heard much of y'all's conversation yet. We getting a late run out the door. Heading to see Jace Britton play at Maryville University today. Actually, I guess it is still Maryville College at Southern Virginia University. Never been there, so looking forward to head up the road here in a few minutes.
Coach P, tough one for you and your guys. You came back, you fought hard. I listened to Matt and Danny on my way home from my ball game, and it just sounded like you got a little behind, came back, actually took the lead, and then Thomas Jefferson scored late. So, I mean, I know that's tough, but your guys fought hard. They should be proud. Just tell us a little bit about what happened last night.
We didn't take the lead, though. We had a chance, and the extra point got blocked.
Okay.
It got deflected and hit the upright, so
it was tied.
Don't get much closer than that, but got back to 20-20. Down 20-0 at halftime. I felt like our game plan was what it was on offense. We got a first down on every drive to start the game. But they, of course, scored on the opening drive. We had a few penalties that kept their drive alive. And that first touchdown is always an important one. I really, going into the game, felt like our defense was playing very well. Even, we held East Gaston to basically a touchdown in the first half a couple weeks ago, and played like we did against Highland. So I felt like we were in a situation we actually deferred, and that's something I think Coach Jenkins says he's remembered us doing it twice in my career at Cherryville, and that got us behind a little bit in that regard. But we just could not get a point on the board in the first half, and we just discussed it with the officials after or at halftime that we had an incomplete pass inside the red zone, and I don't think I've ever called so many plays from about the 15 to 20-yard line in a game where, hey, we need to score on this play. How are we going to score on this play? And that's something I don't really look at as an offensive person, but we were in that situation in both halves and didn't score in either situation, and one score either way would have won us the game. But our kids did. They kept battling. It was a lot like the Blacksburg game. Not a lot went well in the first half, and then in the second half we scored, held them. I think we ended up with a pick in the red zone, which was big, drove the field, scored again, held them again. You know, they're a really grinded-out offense. I mean, they were a winless football team, but I honestly, watching them on film, probably felt like they were probably one of the better winless football teams I've seen in a while. They gave Shelby a really good game for a half, fumbled, I think, late in the first half, and Shelby picked it up to run it in to get up by more than a point. I think they were losing 7-6 to Shelby. They played some other teams pretty tight. They've lost to a very good Pine Lake Prep team and a very good Community School Davidson team. So we felt going in that they were a solid team. And one other thing, as we're going through pregame, their quarterback was injured and did not play. And they restructured their offense, which is obviously not what we prepared for. And they put the ball in either their two best players' hands almost every single play. Number 10 and number 15 touched the ball almost every play, and it was tough to defend that group. There's no doubt. So those are two really good football players. I think Hargrove was one of them, and Weathers was the other one. And those were very good senior players for their team.
Yeah, I guess Six didn't play then. Six, Wingo didn't
He did
play.
not.
Okay.
No, he did not play. He did not play. And we of course, came down and, like I said, we tied the game. And then, not getting the extra point, we didn't miss it. I mean, just gets blocked, tipped, and hits the upright. But it kind of deflated us, I guess, a little bit. And we gave up two 50-plus yard plays, one to Weathers and one to 15. And both of those Hargrove and both of those plays kind of were the difference in the game. I felt like we made some plays in the second half. Tanner Sisk made a big touchdown catch, and then he had an opportunity to make another play, dropped it, but then came back the very next within that series and made another big play. Didn't score on that play, but got us in range to score. So Tanner had a great game at wide receiver, and that's the thing I think we did last night. Josh Ward had a couple catches. Colin Huss had a couple catches. Try to get the ball to Hunter Jackson. I hope he can break free here sometime before the end of the season. And then running the football, Chase probably led us in rushing and had a good game in that regard. So it just was a very good high school football game, and we just ran out of time, best way to describe it at the end.
Well, moving forward next week, I know you've got a couple of big games. You got a big game at Burns next Friday night. I'll come see it. Be homecoming at Burns, and then you finish up the year at Bessemer City. Is that a home game for you, Bessemer City?
That is. That's
okay.
Our senior night, and of course we'll probably get the belt out this week just to talk a little bit about. Hey, we're not looking past Burns, obviously, but we gotta prepare ourselves for the week ahead, but also think about the process of playing that last 1A opponent, which is going to be important since we have a chance to all, I guess, end up tied for that fourth spot in the conference. I don't know. All those playoff scenarios, supposedly if you finish below third but have a 500 record and you're in a split, you get a number one seed. We kind of messed that up last night, so we can't end up with a 500 record. Thomas Jefferson nor Bessemer City can end up with a 500 record. So I guess we'll end up going in on our ranking, but beating the Bessemer City team would hopefully put us ahead of them in the ranking. But you never know the way the computer generates stuff these days. But that's just out of our hands. I mean, what's in our hands is to play better fundamental football, tackle better, don't jump off sides, hold on to the ball. I think last night we had one fumble that we recovered. Cam didn't get a good handoff. We had that happen one day in practice this week, just that little fundamental thing of making a good pocket from chin to belly button and sticking the ball in the belly and covering both ends of the ball. we had one bad snap last night, so got to give credit to Gage Vernon, who started, and also Caleb Hovis, who played most of the game at center. But those guys had really good snaps. But the play that happened on was in the red zone on our way to tie the score at 20-20. And Chase, he basketball dribbled it, would be the best way to describe it, picked it up and ran probably about 10 yards straight ahead. And that's the thing I thought we did better last night on offense, except for maybe one or two plays, as we put our foot in the ground and got what we could get. And that's exactly what their offense had done for many weeks. And that was the scary thing about them. But like I said, with the way they tweaked their offense, and they threw, I think, 3 passes. One was a completion to them, one was a completion to us, and the other one should have been their plan was not to throw the football very much. But we got to keep working toward the end goal, which is being prepared for a first-round playoff game, and that's what we'll get back to on Monday.
Well, Coach Pruitt, we appreciate you calling in.
Thanks,
and I'll come see you next week, next Friday. We got homecoming, and I've got some parade responsibilities. But once I get done parading, we'll come down. We'll talk a little football, Coach Pruitt. We appreciate you calling in, and be safe driving up there to that football game.
All right, where's that parade going to be at? I don't want to make sure I don't hit that traffic.
You're going to be
Boston traffic can be a little dangerous.
Yeah, Coach Pruitt, you're lucky. You're going to be coming through Falston, and the parade goes through Lawndale. So the parade it goes about a mile down to school. So you've got clear sailing, Coach. You don't have to worry about anything.
Sounds good. I talked to Coach Devine last night. We had a little issue getting back and getting to the film and getting to laundry. And a quick word of note, I don't know why, but half of my jerseys turned out October Breast Cancer Awareness Month pink last night when I got done washing them twice, and I had to shout them out and get me some non-chlorine bleach, and I've washed them about 4 times since, and I hope they'll be ready to go on Friday. If not, we'll throw the JV whites on. But that was an experience last night to have that happen. Never had that happen in 30-some years. My jerseys be pink. So,
well, the joys of coaching, the what the parents don't realize, the field marking, the laundry, the grass cutting, all the stuff that Mom and Dad don't think about when they're up there yelling, do they?
Well, Coach Devine, when I messaged him that I was running behind, he's like, I'm doing laundry right now. So him and, Davey Diamond, a guy that I used to coach against, his dad, Dave Diamond, coaches at South Stokes High School, and Davey's joined the staff at Burns this year. And Davey, I think, does a lot of the huddle work, but I was a little late on getting the film to them, so I messaged them. And, of course, me and David started talking about our games and about film, and obviously they played very well against East Gaston last night. So watched a little bit of that film before I hit the road today. But look forward to seeing you, Tom. Y'all have a great weekend, and go Ironman.
Okay, be careful out there, Coach. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's Coach Pruitt, and as we said earlier, that's just tough, but he's got a chance to get into the playoffs. He's got Bessemer coming up and Burns coming up. Bessemer for the belt. Like he says, I will give him credit for that. Like, that's a rivalry game. I mean, that's obviously the bigger game out of his last two, but he never looks past. He's like, no, got a game next week, one game at a time, and that's what you got to think as a coach, one game at a time. Whoever's on your schedule next, that's who you have to worry about. But hopefully, I don't know, Kevin, that's going to be a big rivalry game, and it's got a lot on the line in that 1A part of the conference.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in 2 weeks. Michigan hosts Penn State. Michigan's 7-point favorite, number 5, and number 10 in the Big Ten in the Big Ten in the Big House. I'll get all that out. Tom, what you got?
Penn State's improved. Michigan looks a little shaky. Let me go against the grain here. Let me say that Penn State goes in there and beats Michigan.
Wrong pick, Michigan. That's all I got to say, Tom.
Why are you picking Michigan?
Because they're playing at home.
Oh, okay.
You got Penn State can't play. They're not a legit Big Ten team.
That's not App State. Ole Miss hosting. That's a big one. Oklahoma 9-point favorite against number 19 Kansas.
Excuse me.
Who's 5-1.
Excuse me.
Oklahoma 9-point favorite
This team, I think that's got to be wrong. If it's not, I'm calling my bookie right now.
Oklahoma
Didn't
get
they just
slaughtered last week?
49-0.
Yeah, something like that.
9-point favorite over 19th ranked Kansas. What about disrespect from the voter? Or well, that's disrespect from Vegas, not the voters.
Give me Kansas.
You going to take Kansas?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do something because I usually don't do this. Somebody knows something. There's no way you'd give Oklahoma to be a 9-point favorite.
I think it's wrong.
What? What do you mean it's wrong? I mean, that's what it says, Tom. It's on the legit board.
Yeah, I didn't
There's
argue.
got to be a problem. It must be something that can't.
ESPN has a 68% matchup predictor.
That's
for
what
Oklahoma.
I'm
Well,
saying.
if ESPN said it, it must be true. So, yeah.
So I'm going to tell you what. You go ahead and take Kansas. Probably Kansas has probably never beat Oklahoma in so long of a time that they figure this is never going to happen.
They're going to
So I'm
beat
going
them
to
today.
take Oklahoma.
Oklahoma can't even tackle anybody.
I'm going to take Oklahoma because
They got a
Tom, who cares?
They got a
Oklahoma's
defensive.
who I take.
They got a defensive coach that can't even tackle.
It's
Venables is gone. He's done.
I got Oklahoma.
Kansas averages 39 and gives up 26. Oklahoma averages 30 and gives up 29. Yards are the same. Oklahoma's defense gives up 450 yards a game. Their last 3.
So we've had 2 and we've
Terry,
picked 2
explain this to me. You know. Oklahoma's lost 3 straight by giving up 49, 55, and 41, and they're 9-point favorites over a 5-1 19th ranked team in the conference.
That's what I'm saying. Think of that. That's the reason
It's not there
somebody
about 2
knows
points.
something. Somebody
It's 9
knows
points.
something.
We don't. Apparently, the quarterback and the coach this week.
Well, now wait a minute. Didn't
hanging out
Kansas
with Deshaun Watson or
Kansas
something.
lose their first one last week?
Yeah,
Maybe that's what they think.
Yeah, but I can't remember. It was a tough game. I think it was Kansas State or somebody beat them.
The Illini in Minnesota, this side of the bracket, Tom, is not too good.
Minnesota, they probably so great. I remember Tom saying that last week. Yeah, then they got
2
beat.
weeks ago.
Then they got
It
thumped.
was 2 weeks ago.
Good pick, Tom.
Make your pick, Terry.
What?
Minnesota, Illinois. Who you
I'm
got?
going to take Illinois.
Minnesota favored by 6.5 on the road in Champaign, Tom.
All right, let me tell you something, Golfers.
Go ahead and take
You
Minnesota.
better not let me down this week. Minnesota proves that I am right about Minnesota football. And Illinois, and I tell you, Bielema's got him playing well. I mean, he went into Wisconsin and kicked their tail. So I think Illinois is a good football team, especially defensively against the run. But I like Minnesota.
And he's talking too much. Illinois wins. Here we go.
Okay.
It's Illinois, not Illinois. Illinois.
Tom, that completely depends where you're from. From Lincoln County?
It's Illinois.
Illinois. There's an S on it. It's Illinois. That's how you say it. But it's okay.
Terry, is he okay?
He's never.
Can we go to the next game, please? Can we go to the next game?
Tennessee.
Oh.
Terry,
Yeah.
you're the only 10 I see. 8.5-point favorites is Alabama on the road in Neyland Stadium. 100,000 people is going to watch this game today at 3:30 on CBS. Alabama about lost last week
Against Texas A&M.
About.
Without their quarterback. Is their quarterback playing this week?
I don't think it really matters.
Who did better against Texas A&M, Alabama or App State? I don't remember. I'm asking. I don't know Alabama.
Oh, really? Who did
It's about
better?
the same.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I
Appalachian
think
beat them.
Appalachian, yeah.
And Alabama beat them by about the same. Appalachian beat them by 1, didn't it?
I just don't understand. I mean, it's a lot of times, and this is how come Kevin don't like all this stuff anyway, because football
aggravating.
you never can figure it out.
No.
Appalachian can go down to Texas A&M and win, and then turn around and lose some of the games they've
Texas
lost.
State.
Because it's
We
college
can't
kids.
handle Texas State,
'Cause
but
it's
we can handle
college
Texas
kids.
A&M.
You know.
It's college kids. You
Come
never
on.
know.
They're not
Okay.
kids.
Anyway, on to this game. There's no doubt here. Tennessee, it's opportunities. I always talk opportunities. Here's your opportunity, Tennessee. You want to be elite, you go and you beat Alabama because they come into your place. It's simple, but this will not happen. Alabama, Saban will have them prepared, and Alabama wins by at least 14.
I tell you what, even though I really don't like Rocky Top, and it gets on my nerves when I start playing that as a Tennessee game.
I love it when you're there. Whole
I
place
know,
shakes.
I know. I mean, I'm sure if you're a Tennessee person, you like it. But Tennessee hasn't beaten Alabama since when, like 2006?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. You're finally back in the top 10. You've got Alabama at home. The quarterback's dinged up. Tennessee off the schneid gets a win, as Chris Berman would say. Off the schneid. That's Chris Berman. They win today.
I hope you win, Tom, but I don't think that'll happen.
One of the best looking, my favorite pro player jackets I ever had was a Tennessee Volunteers jacket. You remember, Terry, you remember Jimmy Johnson made those sort of starter jackets?
Yeah.
He made those famous.
I got a Tennessee jacket. If they win, I'll wear that in here.
I've got mine somewhere.
Even though
too.
you don't get to pick against them.
I've
and
got
then wear
mine
the Tennessee
somewhere
jacket.
too.
Yes,
And
I
it's
can,
sweet.
Tom.
Lee Corso, when he makes his picks, he doesn't pick against the team and then wear
I've
its
got
head.
one, Tom.
You can't do that.
I can't.
You can't do that. What next game? This is idiocracy. Wow,
Oklahoma State at TCU. What a big week in college football this must be for
That's
you,
a tough
you folks.
TCU probably favorite.
Horned Frogs. Now, these two teams are the top two seeds in the Big 12 in our college football playoff poll. So both of these are in the playoffs, according to me. And it's a big matchup here. Horned Frogs at home, favored by 4 against the Cowboys.
And they are tough at home. But I'm going Oklahoma State. Give me the mullet. Trust the mullet, even though he's cut it, I think.
You got to choose between a mullet and a horned frog.
I hate going against Tom again, but I'm going TCU at home.
TCU.
Yeah, that's a good pick, Terry. I just think that Oklahoma State is more ready. They're more. I mean,
their defense should be better.
And TCU has a new coach, and he's got them going in the right direction. But I just think
They're
that
unbeaten,
Gundy.
too.
I think Gundy's gonna.
Yeah, Gundy. I like Gundy.
I mean, he's a good coach, and he's gonna find a way to win this game.
But I've also seen him blow games that he should win. Also. So.
Yeah, every now and then.
Okay. NC State at the Cuse.
Oh, Lordy.
State. Dogs, number 15 at number 18. Syracuse, who's undefeated, and talk about respect. No, they're ranked below State. It's got a loss. Yeah. Syracuse favorite at home, though, in the Carrier Dome. Tommy.
I know that Syracuse is favored because they're at home, but I think NC State and the defense, they'll do enough to win this game. I like NC State to beat Syracuse today.
Tom, is that not strange? I'm a State fan, and with Chambers at our quarterback, I hope the guy never throws because I don't know whether he can.
Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, because Leary's
evaluation of your team.
Leary probably out today, but with no quarterback and all we can do is run, and our run is one of the worst in college football. Our offense is terrible, and Syracuse can score, and our defense is one of the best in the country. I don't think it takes much to beat us today. Honest to God, because I saw us win last week over Florida State on account of our defense makes a pick at the very end of the game to keep us a victory. I just don't think we can go into Syracuse and win. And we've always gave up a lot of points every time we've went up there. And I'm going Syracuse.
I think NC State, so they're battle tested. They've been to Death Valley and went toe to toe with Clemson. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether Chambers can do it though. There's the deal. I mean, a new quarterback behind the helm without Leary, I don't know whether he can take us to a victory. He's going to run. He's not a great passer.
See, what's crazy is Terry says that about his backup quarterback. And then you got Isaiah Best sitting down at Charleston Southern that can throw a football 70 yards back.
Well, the guy come from College of Charleston, I think is where he come from.
You got Dalen Lee over here not being recruited by big schools. Jameer Holmes can throw the ball 50, 60 yards. And we're sitting here talking about Terry's like, I don't even want our guy to even attempt it.
Yeah.
And that's what my point was, like, how bad is the quarterback play around the country that I don't – and then we get to the draft in the NFL. These coaches, Terry, it is my contention that football coaches have no idea how to play quarterback or what to do with quarterbacks or do anything with them.
That's why you want to get you a quarterback whisperer.
How many and really, when you think about it, how many coaches actually played quarterback? They don't. You'd think they'd all be the backup quarterbacks would be coaches. But we've got
Gary Kubiak.
We got defensive line coaches trying to tell a quarterback what to do, and you got like Ron Rivera. he ain't trotted out a good passing offense in his life.
Ryan Day was, I think, a backup quarterback at New Hampshire.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's
awesome.
like this game here, Tom. I hope you win, but I just don't know whether we can do that.
Yeah, some Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback. I mean, there's some.
That's what I'm saying. There's
yeah.
a few, but there's a ton of like you could name less than you probably could.
Right.
Defensive coach. Everybody wants a defensive coach, and then we wonder, like Terry said, well, why can't we complete a pass? Because all the good quarterbacks are in the Division II.
Yeah.
All of them are, it seems like. James Madison has snuck in the top 25. They're favored by 12. We won't do that one. Clemson. Explain this one to me, Vegas. We've had some weird Vegas lines. The number 4 team in the nation is only favored by 4.5 against a 4-2 team.
Florida State's not bad. Barely survived last week. I mean, they lost to North Carolina State, but it took a state pick in the final minute to secure State's win last week. And really, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's another game because as I sat back and we're talking about State again, but State should be 3-3. We should have lost to East Carolina, and we should have lost to Florida State. If Florida State does not throw a pass last week, they kick a field goal and beat us. Same thing with East Carolina that they could have done. But they come out and they throw a pass last week, and we pick it off in the end zone.
Florida State's lost 2 straight games to ranked opponents, and then they get Clemson this week.
Yeah, and this is sorry for them. This is me easy, Clemson.
Yeah. Why do Clemson people hate Uiagalelei so much? Why do they hate him so much?
Well, he's not, to me, like a legit Lawrence that stood right in there and complete passes. They don't like him to run. They're scared he's going to get hurt every time he takes off running. He's not a great passer, but he's winning. I mean, because why? Because of all the other 10 athletes that's around him.
Shipley's pretty good, running back.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And they've got some.
I wish State had him.
I'm just telling you. I just think, when I watched that Florida State defense, I just was not impressed, Terry. No, I was not impressed at all against the Wake Forest game. I didn't see much of the State game, but I just think that they still got some things to straighten out. So give me Clemson on this one.
Mississippi State. This is a good week. Top 25 matchups. I don't know who put the schedule together this year, but they were pretty profit when they did this. The Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, favored by 3.5 on the road at Kentucky. We got a Bulldog versus a Wildcat fight at Kroger Field in Lexington. Mississippi State again favored by 3.5 over under 50 at 59 degrees. Terry.
Well, this is another one of them games. I watched Kentucky that I sat in here last week and took them against South Carolina. South Carolina looked like they were the elite in the SEC last week as they go into Kentucky and defeat them. Now, here's Kentucky having to play Mississippi State, a back-to-back thing. So, do I think Kentucky can win? Heck no. Mississippi State goes in there and wins. And this is when Kentucky will show up and win. But I'm taking Mississippi State.
I like Kentucky at home. And
you probably win.
Evenly matched teams, I think. Pretty good teams, middle of the pack SEC teams, which are pretty good.
South Carolina went in there last week and won. South Carolina. Who is South Carolina?
Yeah, that was kind of surprising.
I like.
Didn't South Carolina get a transfer quarterback?
Schedules.
Somebody transferred in there, I thought.
Are y'all ready for the next game?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
USC and Utah. Utah favored by 3.5. Terry, at home, number 7 versus 20. Utah's got 2 losses on the season. So what you got here?
USC, guys, I'm telling you, what a difference he's already made, and this is year 1.
And a lot of people still hate on the USC defense because they give up a lot of yards. But they've got a high-powered offense.
Yeah.
I think it's just too much for Utah. Even at home, Utah with they lost to UCLA.
Yeah.
So I like USC.
How many is that, Terry?
That makes 2, 4, 6, 9.
9. Get you guys a few more here in just a second. Let's move over to the ACC and give you guys a little quick preview of the playoffs. My playoff brackets. I do take the top 5 of each conference to the top 5 seeds, and the next 5 seeds, the number 1 independent, 11 seed, and the champion from each Power 5 team is 11 through 15. Right now, if I was the czar commissioner of football, I'd have number 1 Georgia hosting Toledo and would play the winner of UNC and TCU. in the Alphabet Bowl. Then that bracket would play the winners of Cincinnati at Oklahoma State in the 12-5 matchup, James Madison of the 13 at USC. Over on the other side of the bracket, I'd have the 14 seed San Jose State at Clemson playing the winner of Brigham Young and Alabama. BYU the 11, Alabama the 6 seed. Illinois, the 10 seed, Tom, is your second. When I was mentioning that earlier, all the ranked teams are in one side of the bracket there in the Big Ten, the highly ranked ones. And then they would be at UCLA. Ohio State would get the 2, and they would have to play UT San Antonio. So that would be the college football matchups if I was the king of college football.
Yeah.
All right. Other matchups in the ACC. Miami goes to Virginia Tech today, 2-3 and 2-4 at Lane Stadium. Terry, Miami at Virginia Tech. Miami's favored by 7.5 in Blacksburg.
Here's another one of them things I cannot figure out because Carolina went to Miami and won last week.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're on the road going to Virginia Tech. Phew. Good one here to pick, and I'm going to go Virginia Tech at home for a victory.
Tommy, Hokies or Hurricanes? Hurricanes 7.5.
I don't know. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough game to pick because you don't know which one of these teams is going to show up. Virginia Tech, a tough place to play, but somehow I think Miami's going to go in there and get a win.
Tar Heels and Blue Devils. Terry, Tar Heels all of a sudden 5-1, the champion of one side of the bracket there in the ACC right now.
Some Dukies has lost twice back to back.
And Carolina's favored by 7 at Wallace Way today. Who you got, Terry?
Yeah, it's hard for me to go away with Carolina can score a lot of points, and I think that'll be a difference today. UNC for a victory.
Yeah, I think they go into Durham and they beat Duke in the Carolina.
In the Coastal Division, the whole ACC, guys. Y'all ready for this one? North Carolina is the number 1 defense, Terry. I mean, offense.
Mm-hmm.
And the dead last defense.
I can believe that. I can believe every bit of that. I mean,
North Carolina has scored the most points, 254. Clemson Wake Forest at 247. So they got one more touchdown than Wake. But they've given up 192 points, which is 20 more points than Boston College. So number 1 in offense, Tom, dead last in defense. Putting on a show over.
You know what? When you're number 1 in offense and last in defense, you know what that makes for? An entertaining ball game.
Yes.
Unless you're Terry Ryan who wants to see 3-0.
I do want it 3-0. And I want to mention something while we was talking about. Here's your update on Devin Leary for today's game. Dave Doran said he's day-to-day. Now, you heard that, right? Monday, they said he could be out 6 weeks. So how in the world can you be day-to-day from 6 weeks?
Because in college, you don't have to be honest about it.
Yeah, there you go. So
in the NFL, unless you're Bill Belichick, you have to be honest about it. If you're Bill Belichick, you get to lie and cheat, and nobody says
we'll
it.
See.
Wisconsin at Michigan State. Wisconsin favored by 7 in Spartan Stadium, Tommy.
Wisconsin favored by 7. I mean, they got the new coach. They flattened Northwestern last week, but Northwestern's terrible. Michigan State's defense is atrocious. Give me Wisconsin. They'll keep their positive momentum going.
And I'm also going to Wisconsin.
All right.
That's 12.
So, all right, I was about to say how many we got there. No more in the Big 12. Did all those, actually. Let's go over to the Pac-12. Jump around here for a minute. Folks watching on home here on YouTube, we like to pick games 10 and under in the spreads if we can. Washington State at Oregon State. What's the Washington? Are they the Wildcats? Cougars. Mm-hmm. Cougars at Beavers. Beavers favored by 3 in Corvallis. Tommy.
Give me, Washington State. I liked what I saw against Wisconsin. Give me Washington State.
And that's also the same team that I'm picking, Washington State.
Well, you picked a different team than Tom did. I know who Washington State is, but
Washington?
He picked Washington State.
Yeah.
Washington.
Well, you have to watch, Tom. He don't pronounce it correctly.
BYU. We already talked about that earlier, didn't we? BYU hosting Arkansas. Is that right?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know. The Mormons last week, they've let me down. Every time I pick them, they let me down. I know that my teaching buddy, Belinda Minnick, she loves her Razorbacks. Belinda, will them to a win today. Give me Arkansas to defeat the Mormons in Utah.
I don't know whether BYU can beat a SEC team, so I'm taking Arkansas.
Tigers and Gators face off in Gainesville, LSU, Louisiana State against the Florida Gators. Tommy, who you got in the swamp today?
My worst pick last week was LSU. You idiots fumble the opening kickoff. Then you let them run a punt back, and you're down. I mean, I know Terry was laughing the whole time because I picked LSU at home. LSU, you stink. Kelly, you stink. Give me Florida to win at home. I will never pick LSU the rest of the year.
Good job, Tom. That's who I took, Florida.
Okay, no way. LSU, no way. God is punishing Brian Kelly for selling out the Catholic
15.
Church.
Oh, it is 15?
That's
okay.
15.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes as soon as JP does a sit-up. You ready, JP? You did good last night. He's learning. He's doing some more, having to work harder on Friday nights. He's more tired. We'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heated and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Looking for commercial or residential flooring? Look no further than Piedmont Flooring in Lincolnton. Piedmont Flooring is in the same location as Watson Carpet and Tile. Jason Husky, the owner, has military background and is active in the community as well as sports. Piedmont Flooring specializes in laminate, LVP, LVT, sheet vinyl, hardwoods, tile, carpet, cabinets, countertops, VCT, and backsplash. Open Mondays through Fridays, 8 to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 8:30 to 12. Piedmont Flooring, 2129 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2938. It's a family-owned business helping families.
The Darryl Worley Bucky Covington concert, rained out October 1st, has been rescheduled for this Saturday night, October 15th at 6 p.m. at Coppermine Farms with special guests Downtime Habit, J. Mark Bailey, and Janine Tarana. Coolers are welcome. BYOB, but no brown bagging. For more information, go to copperminefarms.com. Bring your lawn chairs this Saturday night, October 15th at 6 p.m. at Coppermine Farms, 154 Maze Road in Forest City.
Got a call last night from an old friend's wife, said I hate to bother you.
It's like 1, 2, 3 at the new Appliance Center in Shelby and Forest City. Buy one appliance and get it delivered for $35. Buy two appliances and get them delivered for $60. Or buy three appliances and get them delivered for $75. Plus buy a refrigerator priced over $1,000 and get it delivered free. At the Appliance Center, 508 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby and 793 West Main Street in Forest City. Online at theappliancecenter.com and like them on Facebook too.
Make plans to attend the 2022 Mush Music and Mutts Festival, North Carolina's official fall liver mush festival, this Saturday, October 15th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in Uptown Shelby. Hot liver mush eating contest, cooking contest, plus live music all day, and Rollover Pets pet costume contest and parade. Dynamo dog shows and more are so much fun. Cornerstone Dental Associates presents the Kids Zone with music and fun for kids. The event is free to attend and well-behaved pets are welcome. Join us at Uptown Shelby for the Mush Music and Mutts Festival this Saturday, October 15th. Get details at nclivermushfestival.com.
Y'all ready for this?
Keep up with this. KTC Broadcasting and whatsupshopper.com are giving away three $333 shopping sprees for a total of $999 in shopping sprees. All you have to do is register at one of our participating sponsors, including Classic Volkswagen on East Franklin Boulevard, Gastonia. At Parker Family Feeds, Highway 18 North in Bellwood. At Carter Chevrolet, West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. At Bridges Hardware on West King Street in Kings Mountain. At the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 in Falston. At Cummings Furniture on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain. At Butler's Tire on East King Street in Kings Mountain. At Family Auto, Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby. And at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. The drawings will be held Friday, October 28th. See your local stores for details. Register today. Sponsored by KTC Broadcasting and whatsupshopper.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. They're talking about something. I'm not really sure, though. There they come.
I tell you what, JP, what would be very helpful is if instead when we come back, you sit there and whatever you do, is how about you look up the number to Shelby Heating and Air and you talk about Shelby Heating and Air.
Well, I would, but I mean, that's Tom's
That's
thing.
my job.
I'd take Tom's stuff away.
Tom,
Come
his
on.
boss said, "Hey, would you do this?" And his answer was, "Well,
Because
I would,
Tom-
but."
It sounds like
Tom
me.
runs
It
this
sounds
show.
like me telling kids what to do at school.
But
Hey,
Tom-
hey, kids! Why don't you take out your notebook? Well, we don't feel like that. You know, that's kind of the way I do it.
Well,
You know,
it's
Terry,
no
you
worse
deal
than
with it.
last week, Kevin, when you said, Terry, what you think? And Tom started talking.
Yeah, I know.
Well, people want to know. People want to know the truth. Well, you know what the truth. You know what the truth is. The truth is, Shelby Heating and Air brings you Saturday morning sports talk each and every week. Please
we're
don't
proud of
spoil your
that.
pull your sponsorship. 704-487-7877. Check them out online. ShelbyHeating.com. They've got a special on a furnace check. Give them a call. Get that furnace check before it gets cold.
Yeah,
704. Yep. 704-487-7877. Or check them out online, ShelbyHeating.com. Give them a call. Get that furnace check special today.
So, complaint time. Complaint time. We complained last Friday about it, Terry. Cardinals lose.
Cardinals are awful.
Well, I told you on Friday it was the dumbest thing, the dumb coaching. And then Saturday, Terry, we talked, Wainwright better take the bump.
Yeah,
And he didn't.
he did not.
The season is on the line. Adam Wainwright says, I'm ready to go. And this coach don't put him on the mound. I don't know what happened to this coach. I don't know what happened to Paul Goldschmidt. I don't know what happened to the coach. But every bit of it
And
was
Saturday,
just terrible.
if you're watching the game, and I can't remember, Kevin, whether it was in like the third or fourth inning, maybe the fifth, somewhere in there, the same opportunity happened to Philly. And what they do, they played back for a double play.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
Same exact thing almost happened on that Friday.
Well, then, so I'll tell you what else made me mad was that we pinch run for Pujols after he gets a hit.
Then you did it for Molina,
And
too.
then you did it for Molina, which is, whatever reason you're doing it for, fine. They're trying to get a run in.
Yeah. I
But
think
Terry,
it was like,
he was on first
here's
base.
your
There was a
encore.
runner in front of him.
yeah, here's your encore, buddy. Y'all go ahead and come on off. We're losing.
Right. Pujols almost had his spot almost come up in the ninth.
Yeah.
He was 2 spots away from Pujols batting again. Molina got a hit, and Pujols got a hit in their last at bats in St. Louis. Our $500 million first baseman and third baseman, Terry, went 0 for the series. And which players are not going to be back next year? The old guys were 3 for 8 in 2 games. Molina and Pujols went 3 for 8. Goldschmidt and Arenado 0 for everything and couldn't do anything in the infield. They gave up all that. They were both of them made bad plays in that stupid 6-run top of the ninth. And they get to come back next year and make another $50 million.
Correct.
Just stupid. So I'm getting on my complaints.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But I wouldn't have pinch run for either one of them in either one of the situations until they get like second or something. Neither one of them, they're on first. Where are they going?
Yeah.
Where's y'all? Whoever's on there first, it's a playoff game. It's just stupid coaching. But Goldschmidt apologized to folks about his hitting in the last month. Wainwright is pretty much hinting that he's going to be back. He put out a big, long apology letter to the Cardinals fans. In the last month, he struggled, and he actually figured it out, Tom, on his video work, like last week, and he was ready to come back and pitch. He's been working on it this week. And for you pitchers out there, he said he thought he had dead arm. and they were having problems figuring out what it was. And then listen to what the problem was. Watching video, his stride had shortened by 6 inches. And his arm wasn't catching up with his stride where it should have been. They changed it, and immediately he's pegging 95 again. All about where his landing foot was. Now, I'm not that much technical as pitching, so I can't get in as much as any of that. But that's what Wainwright, he got on the internet, he explained it. He said, was ready to pitch, ready to go in the postseason. I was ready to take the bump Saturday. This is what happened as far as why we thought we had dead arm, explained all the injury and all that stuff. He said, I'm fine now, I'm throwing good. And he was basically saying it leaves a bad taste in his mouth that he didn't get to pitch. And he was kind of pissy about it. You could tell.
Well, there's ways that I look at things. Even when I was coaching, I don't care who you are. When you're playing and it's do or die on game 2 for you because they're only playing 3,
right?
That's when your number 1 pitcher should be out there because you don't make game 3 if you don't win this one.
You got your Hall of Fame pitcher over asking.
That's what I'm saying.
To start. And Terry, would you not rather him give up 3 runs than some other Yahoo?
Yeah.
Unless it's not like we had Randy Johnson or another. We don't got a stud.
I mean, you never make tomorrow unless you win this one.
No, you got to have Wainwright out there throwing curveballs.
The best quote I ever heard a coach say: "You can't win if you're not there."
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Can't win if you're not there, and that's the truth. And the Yankees did the same thing. They didn't bring their stud reliever in; they brought in one of their starting pitchers. And then the Guardian almost said it. The Indians get a couple of runs. In the top of the top of the 10th, but I just can't call him the Guardian. I do sometimes. I just can't. I was listening to Tom Hamilton. I listened to it on the radio. Tom Hamilton does a great job. He's the play-by-play guy for Cleveland, and enjoyed his broadcast. But he does call them the Guardians, and he never called them the Indians. So I have to give him credit. I mean, this guy's been calling Cleveland games for like 20 years.
Oh, he'll be fired if he
probably does. They couldn't have me on the broadcast because
they already had that meeting.
They probably did. You call
you're
him
fired.
Yeah, you're fired. But he does a good job. I enjoyed listening to the broadcast. But Cleveland's got a chance. This is coming back to Cleveland. They've got Tristan McKenzie, their stud pitcher, on the mound. Him and Bieber really have. Quantrill's pitched well too. They've really got 3 guys that have pitched very well. Quantrill got touched up a little bit, but Kevin, you give up 4 runs to the Yankees, you figure you could still be in the game. The problem is you're facing Garrett Cole. That's always a tough. They're gonna have to face him again, but Cleveland has to win this game today. They got to win this game today with McKenzie. I just think you've got to win this game today, and then you got a good chance with Quantrill going on Sunday. I believe he's going on Sunday. So I think if Cleveland's going to win the series, they got to close it out in Cleveland. They got to win these next 2. If they have to go back to New York, Terry, I don't like their chances.
It's 1-1 right now.
Yeah, and you're dominating Judge. He can't even hit it.
And you know what? I told Kevin this last night, and I know he got a little irritated with me because we was talking baseball on a football show. But
that's Dennis's
I know. But I could tell the irritation in his voice. I'm like, he's mad again. Right? Well, let me get off here. But anyway, Judge struck out 7 times in a row, Terry. He didn't even hit the ball. He didn't even foul it.
That's him. That's who he is.
But I'm telling you.
But now he hit 3-something.
And I know he got booed by the Yankee fans. I'm going to tell you, Yankee fans, you show who you are. You show who you are when you boo Aaron Judge. I mean, you know what's going through his head. Something's got in his head. So what do? You boo him? That's going to make it better? Now, I could see just being quiet. Like, come on, man. You're going to boo Aaron Judge?
Why not?
Because he hit 62 home runs. You wouldn't be in the playoffs without him.
Yeah, down the stretch, he had a chance for the Triple Crown, but all he was thinking about was hitting number 62. That's all he ever thought in his whole head.
How could he not when ESPN's cutting into every – how could he not when ESPN's cutting into every single at-bat? There's every single at-bat during the college football game. Here's Aaron Judge to break the record.
Yeah. It was.
And it's his fault. That's all he's worried about.
Well,
that's his fault.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Aaron Judge did not say, ESPN, cut to me. This is my. No, Aaron Judge didn't do
like
that.
2 out of 27?
He's horrible against Cleveland. I will say that. He is. I can't remember what he was. He's like 2 for 40 or something. I mean in the postseason versus Cleveland, whatever it is, I mean, he's terrible against Cleveland. But he's always like, He might.
Cleveland's glad for him to come up,
but he might no. He might hit 2 home runs today. I mean, once he gets away from all those idiots in New York, and he doesn't have to worry about it.
Tom, if
he
you
might
are
hit.
playing in New York, that's going to happen.
Yeah, but New York.
That's Kyrie.
I always
he'll play in Boston or New York.
I pull against.
You better be winning.
California teams, Florida teams, New York teams. I never pull for any except for Buffalo. Now I'll pull for Buffalo because they're really not New York. But I will pull for against California, Florida, New York. Their fans are terrible.
And what a series amongst that we're talking about. I mean, the Guardians are 1-1 going into this one. San Diego takes a 2-1 lead on the Dodgers.
Yeah, I hope the Dodgers get beat.
Philly takes a 2-1 lead on the Braves.
That's what I was going to bring up. How do you feel about this third place team wiping the Cardinals out in a sweep and then now handling the Braves right now, Terry?
Well, yesterday, I think it was the third inning. Struttle's out there. That game, he looked like you couldn't be a guy that was hit. Then all of a sudden, he throws the ball away at first, and all of a sudden, it was like gang wars. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to tell you something that bothers me. Is the guy who hits, I can't think of his name, but he took the bat and he slammed it down. As soon as he hit it, he knew it was gone. Wasn't no doubt in his mind the ball was a home run. As soon as he hit it, and then he takes the bat and slams it down, that'd have been the guy that next time he come up, I'm throwing at his head. I mean, I understand celebrating, but when he hit it, it was so quick that I know this is gone. I mean, you should have bat tossed or something besides slamming it.
So you're going to try to so you're going to try to kill a guy because he slammed his bat. You're not going to put it in his hip.
But the pitcher,
put it in his hip.
Butt,
okay. Put it in his butt. I can see that. Put it in his rib cage. I can see that. You're going for the head. You're going for the head shot. But let's give him a concussion and end his career.
First home run this guy's ever hit in postseason, and he went ballistic. And I'm like, no, you don't do a no pitcher.
Think about what you just said,
will you
Terry.
Let me finish.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Finish.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, my goodness. But the pitcher never looked at it. The pitcher never saw it. He turned around. He was watching the ball go out, which wasn't no doubt. When the guy hit it, he knew it was gone. I mean, but then Bryce Harper comes up and he slams another one. But, I mean, that's Bryce. He can do it. And you understand him. But next thing you know, the game's over with, and Stanler's over there trying to figure out, well, who do I stick in the pitch? And he went with a bunch of guys, the second string on his team, like his team has no chance. And he said, well, sometimes you know that the game is over, and I just got to get through this game, go on to the next one. I mean, I'm like, what?
You can't have that attitude in a playoff game. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you're down 6-1, nothing at that time. I mean,
do you not think you can come back? It's a playoff game.
You're only in the third inning.
It's a playoff game.
I know.
I mean, you could never. If you're down 10-0 in the bottom of the ninth, it's a playoff game.
Yeah,
you don't have any choice. You got to do whatever you got to do to try to win that game. But to retort you don't throw at a guy's head.
Tom, next time a guy steps in there, hello,
Terry,
buddy.
Terry,
I'm sorry where it goes. I didn't mean throw at his head.
Think what you said. You said that this is the guy's first home run in a postseason game. So he hits his first home run in a postseason game, and you're going to throw at his head because of a little excessive celebration.
Way too excessive celebration.
I'm saying
like you've been there.
Okay, I might give him a little inside heat around his butt cheek. Not around his head, Terry. You're not going to throw 100-mile-an-hour.
Why are we worried about our hurt feelings over here?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you said. What do you mean that's what you're saying? That's
exactly what you're saying. Don't hit that home run and go crazy
Terry.
on me.
Terry's a guy in court that could be both lawyers and arguing with each other. I mean, that's Terry. I mean, sometimes trying to figure what is he talking about.
So, some fun numbers on Aaron Judge. Struck out this year 175 times.
That's nice.
Tony Gwynn struck out 185 times in the 90s.
In the whole 90s.
Yeah. But Tony, completely different hitter.
In the 90s.
I mean, completely different.
Why is he different?
Because he was a contact hitter. He hit a lot of singles and doubles.
Judge is? He hit 315.
Judge is not a contact hitter. Judge is a power hitter. There's a difference between a contact hitter and a power hitter.
Is like Stanton. That's a power hitter.
So you're telling me that Aaron Judge is not a power hitter?
He's just a guy that got lucky one year.
Okay, can we move on? We move on?
Well, this is like I told
he's
y'all.
only 6'7", 282.
Well, he's not a power hitter.
He's a big guy. If he cannot hit it out, I feel sorry. I mean, my Lord.
How many doubles Aaron Judge hit? What's the slugging percentage? Even though the new
probably don't have.
What's the
many.
slugging percentage?
Doubles, not many.
That's what I said. Not many.
28.
He can't run that fast. He's only going to go to first.
So he had his hits. He probably had to have 120, 130 hits this year, right?
177 hits.
So his slugging percentage is is 500?
686.
680. So his slugging is 686, but he's not a power hitter.
He's not a power hitter. If I was that big, I wouldn't a power hitter.
In slugging percentage.
Okay, so he leads baseball in slugging percentage, but he's not a power hitter.
How tall is he? How much?
What
does
has
he
it
weigh?
got to do with anything? The man either hits home runs, doubles, and triples, or he doesn't. He's either a power hitter or he doesn't. How do you tell if somebody's a power hitter, Terry? What stat tells you if you're a power hitter?
Tommy's huge.
You didn't answer the question.
If the son of a gun can't hit a home run, I'd feel
Kevin,
sorry.
what analytic do we use to tell if somebody's a power hitter?
Usually home runs or RBIs.
Okay. RBIs, he led the league, right? Or second? What was he, first or second?
Yes.
He leads the RBI. He leads in RBIs. He leads in home runs. He leads in slugging percentage, but he's not a power hitter because he's 6'7" and 280.
Like I said, he don't hit 40 next year.
Terry, if I break the law, you're not going to be my lawyer.
I mean, that's simple.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I think your argument has some flaws in it there, Terry. I just think it has a few flaws.
Altuve probably hits as many home runs as he does altogether.
How many home runs Altuve
How big
hit?
is he?
He's about
like
5'4". No, 5'4".
All right, so
it's not very big.
I was trying to compare some strikeout fun numbers, and y'all got silly. Besides the 90 stat, in 7 years, Aaron Judge has now struck out more than Tony Gwynn did in his entire career by 120 strikeouts.
But you're comparing it. Tony Gwynn. I mean, is there a better? Is there?
No, Tom, stop.
Did your guy bat
I'm not
300 this
comparing
year?
these two players. These are two players.
Right.
I'm just saying one guy strikes out a ton and can't make contact, and the other one makes extremely good. I'm just showing the two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's the difference in a power hitter. You got one thing. That's all you do.
So Tony, I just love looking at these strikeout stats and stuff on him. He only struck out. Oh, I read that totally wrong. Wow. He only struck out 400 times.
He was and a great man. Tony Gwynn was a great person.
434 was his total strikeouts, Tommy.
Just so sad that he had that mouth cancer.
In 20 seasons. What did I say? 34? 434. So Judge passed that in his
third season, probably.
Yeah, probably.
The first month of the fourth season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I mean, you know, like
20
I said,
years of strikeouts compared to 3 years and a month.
It's just terrible what happened to him. It was just terrible because he was just such a great guy. He was coaching, wasn't he? You know, when he was coaching, a great guy, Tony Gwynn.
That's insane to me. The strikeouts in this. It's just, I don't know.
That's
if I
how
can
come
watch
people booed him yesterday. You know what? You play for New York, produce. And now that we need you, you're not producing.
I'm not booing Aaron Judge.
So you had a great year, Judge. We appreciate you getting there because down the stretch, you really did nothing. The only thing you did for us was try to hit a home run so you could beat Roger Maris. But the whole rest of the time, you lost the Triple Crown because you couldn't hit.
I'll say this. There are guys that can do it during the season, and there's guys that can do it during the playoffs.
Exactly.
I will say that.
Kershaw
I will
one
say
of those
that.
for the Dodgers.
All right, so right
agree.
now, Yankees and Guardians 1-1, Phillies up 2-1, Padres up 2-1. Today's action.
How would y'all feel like today all this would be over for the Braves and the Dodgers and the Yankees? We come tomorrow.
It'd be great.
Of
You know who
all
would
the
hate
money-
it? You know who would hate MLB would just hate
Oh, yeah,
it.
but all the money that is spent amongst these three teams and for them not to even get out of this round.
Well, I was going to give you before we didn't get to do it. I don't know why we didn't pick World Series or any of that stuff last week. I wanted to. I was going to give Tom my conspiracy pick for the playoffs. Was going to be Guardians over Braves in the World Series, and they end the Braves logo and mascot all at once.
No,
and they y'all end it.
I just don't think the Guardians have enough hitting.
Fixed. First year ever. Indians. We got to get rid of Yahoo. You got to sell a bunch of T-shirts to make all these fans, new fans for kids.
That's
We got to whitewash or whatever you want to call it for Chief Wahoo.
It's
Get him
your
out of
only
here.
chance,
We're going to win it all. We're going to get new T-shirts that say Guardians for everybody. Guardians champions.
No. I mean,
because all these
Chief
people,
Wahoo's not going anywhere.
Think about all the people who've never seen the Indians win a World Series, though, Tom, and then now they get to put up a banner in their house. It's going to say Guardians champions.
That's what I'm saying. New
They're
team.
going to do it.
New team, new place, new everything. The Guardians.
You know who could make a lot of money, Tom? The guy who sells Indians 2022 World Series stuff.
Yes. Correct.
Hey, call our local banner shop. We're doing it. It'd be Indians 22 World Series champions. The other series, Houston is up 2-0 in that series. All 4 games today, Braves at 2, Houston Mariners at 4, Yankees and Guardians at 7:30, Dodgers and Padres at 9:30 today. So that's finished up. Guys pick for the World Series, Terry.
Oh, man, this is
Put you
strange. Houston. I mean, I don't think nobody over there can compare with them right now, and I hate that as much as any because I'm like Tom. I don't like pulling for a bunch of cheaters. But I'm going to take Houston, and then I'm going to take on the other side. Philly looked awful good yesterday. Can they do it 2 days in a row? I don't think so. I think Atlanta beat them today, and Atlanta goes on. I've got Houston against the Braves.
I agree with you on Houston. I think, I don't know, it's kind of like my sweetheart pick. I think the Padres are going to get out of the National League, and they're going to go to the World Series. And then in the World Series, I think I would like to see the Padres beat the Astros because I'm like you, Terry. The Astros cheat. They should have had their crown stripped, but they didn't. Yeah. Just like, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick cheat all the time, but it's okay. And you wonder why kids cheat in games. But I'd like to see the Padres defeat the Astros. That is, if Cleveland couldn't, by miracle, somehow beat the 100. How many games they win? 111 games, something stupid. They've been pretty good for a while, but they cheat on top of that.
They tried to, yesterday, bring up about how many games that the Braves won last year was 88, and the Phillies have won 87. Could it be a revamp that what happened to Atlanta by Phillies going on to win?
Got to get hot at the right time.
The World Series, the Cardinals won World Series had 83 wins.
Yeah.
We had, I have seen 10 to maybe 15 better teams than that team that won that World Series. And you get hot at the right time here. That's why, again, that 162 game, everybody says you get hot at the right time. Well, by God, after 6 months, you're going to be a bit different. Different teams are going to be better in cold weather too. That's what's the sport is played in all hot weather. And now the guys, you're hitting in cold. Some guys don't like that, and the balls feel different. You got to hit everything about it's different.
They went back 27 years, and they said the other day, and there's a graphic he pulled up, only 7 times has the team with the most wins won the World Series.
Yeah, it's not been.
So there you go. 7 out of 27.
All right, my pick is Guardians over Braves. We'll be hanging a banner here in the studios with right behind Tom, Terry. We're just going to take all the Jordan stuff out. Guardians champions.
We'll hang up this jersey.
No, we can't hang up. Well, yeah, it's got Cleveland on it.
All right, JP, we'll be back in just a few minutes. We've got NASCAR playoffs and Matt Rule fired in Carolina on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heated and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Keep up with this. KTC Broadcasting and WhatsUpShopper.com are giving away 3 $333 shopping sprees for a total of $999 in shopping sprees. All you have to do is register at one of our participating sponsors, including Classic Volkswagen on East Franklin Boulevard, Gastonia, at Parker Family Feeds, Highway 18 North in Bellwood, at Carter Chevrolet, West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Bridges Hardware on West King Street in Kings Mountain, at the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 in Falston, at Cummings Furniture on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain, at Butler's Tower on East King Street in Kings Mountain, at Family Auto, Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby, and at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. The drawings will be held Friday, October 28th. See your local stores for details. Register today, sponsored by KTC Broadcasting and WhatsUpShopper.com.
You're listening to the Wolfman Jack.
I'd say when I was a little kid, I was brought up listening to Alan Freed.
Wolfman Jack.
When I was just getting started, the hip thing was to say, "What's happening, Jack?" "Hey, Jack, what's going on?" So that was the hip slang, So being a horror classic freak like I am, I chose the Wolfman because it was a very animal-sounding name, and the name Jack because of the hip slang. What's happening, Jack? Because Jack always knew what was happening. You understand what I mean? Wolfman Jack.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 noon on the Balls. WHS Shelby, online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Hear that? That's Grizzly the Greeter at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. Grizzly wants to tell you about the Double Down discounts this month. Mention this radio ad and get $100 off an 8-foot building, $200 off a 10-foot building, $300 off a 12-foot building, and $400 off a 14-foot building. And take 50% off add-on features up to $500. Find out more. See Grizzly today at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes, 2268 Lincoln and Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Sundays by appointment. Yes, times are changing. Yes, interest rates are going up. But now is still the best time ever to buy a home. Even with higher interest rates, houses are still affordable and more cost-effective than rent. To buy your home in this area, see Moss Realty in Gastonia. They are locally owned and operated, voted the best of Gaston year after year, and are a big part of our community. Talk to one of their professional agents today by calling 704-865-5555 or visit the website at mossrealty.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. It could be time for you to make a change. Let's go house hunting today. The 30th anniversary sale continues at Essener Auto Sales in Shelby. Come check them out all year long with some great anniversary specials. Find out how easy it can be for you to be one of their satisfied customers. Yes, 30 years ago, Susie and Richie started Essener Auto Sales, striving to give you the best deal possible on a quality pre-owned vehicle. See them today at 417 South Post Road in Shelby, online at srautosales.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. That's Essener Auto Sales in Shelby.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk, sponsored by Shelby Heating and Air. If I remember correctly, the phone number is 704-487-7877. Made sure that I did say the phone number for Shelby Heating and Air.
Have we been on the air the whole time?
All right.
Tom, did you forget to turn the mics off right there?
No, I had the mics off. I just turned them back on.
Right, we are ready for this, aren't we?
All right.
Hit computer, Tom.
Right. Leave the mics up.
He's going to the ground with Carr. His body's there. It's just where it is. It's too much. I mean, my hope is the competition committee looks at this in the next set of meetings and, we take the dresses off.
Yes.
My pearls! I'm clutching them. Did you hear that, Tommy? Did y'all folks hear that? Aitman, the worst person of all time.
He's going to the ground with Carr. His body's there. It's just where it is.
It's terrible.
Too much. I mean, my hope is the competition committee looks at this in the next set of meetings and, we take the dresses off.
So America, Tom, is mad at Troy Aikman for saying we need to take the dresses off.
Check that. Woke America.
Right.
Is mad at Troy Aikman.
Disney made him apologize for it because he works for ABC now and not Fox. So Troy had to go out there and apologize to all the feelings he hurt for talking about a football game in which he said that we got to take the dresses off.
Remember.
And one of the best responses I heard was from a guy. He's a pro wrestler, and he said, "As a man, you're not supposed to hit someone in a dress." That's what Troy's talking about. And all these idiots don't know anything.
Well, it's like I said, we've got crazies on the left and crazies on the right, and it's just like nobody's got any common sense. And it's just like when I said seriously, when I said earlier in the show that when the coach said you kick it to that kid again, you ain't kicking again. Do you understand?
He's going.
That might, somebody might have to go to an emotional counselor after that.
But
it's just kind of, it's just
Troy
ridiculous.
Aikman's talking about these plays, and these plays right here. It happened to Brady on Sunday. It's happened here. This guy's even trying to stop his fall.
And he bounced
That's
on the
what
ground.
I'm saying.
No. He had the ball in his hand.
Yeah, it's already in his hand.
He got a roughing the passer, and he had the ball in his hand. So Chris Jones, the defender, has the ball in his hand before he lands on David Carr.
But it happened to Brady on Sunday that he gave the ball.
How can you rough someone that's
understand.
a passer who doesn't have the ball, Terry? That's not a passer. But the NFL, and this is where, and they've gotten to a bad situation with this, and we've talked about this the last few years. The NBA is with their the guys that are, when the role players are paid millions of dollars, the game is going to change. So now in the NFL, when your quarterback is paid a quarter of your salary cap, they have to protect them. You can't. They don't want them out there getting hurt, and then you got 7 years of Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush, Tom. I mean, you just don't. That's not what you want. But what they're trying to do is protect the quarterbacks. I get that. I don't like the one where they fall on them on purpose, but that's not what that was. But I just wanted to point out that the Troy Aikman stuff I thought was funny. Just a football player having apologized for. This is a quarterback, Terry, wanting rougher calls. He wants it to be rougher, says the quarterback.
Well, I mean, those defensive guys are just at a tremendous disadvantage. I mean,
they don't know what to do.
I've seen Myles Garrett get penalties. I'm like, what is it? What are they just penalizing for?
The problem I have with it, and this is me, this is the NFL, and these are problems I have. The quarterback takes off running. Well, if he starts to slide, you cannot hit him. You got to stay up because he's going to put it down wherever he was. So you don't know whether to go get him or tackle him or whatever. That's like if he's running over to the sidelines and you think he's going to step out of bounds, and all of a sudden he cuts up and goes another 5 yards before somebody hits him.
So, that's one of the things that I always had maybe a slight issue with the Cam stuff is like, he's 250 pounds. If I don't come at him hard, he's going to run me over, or I'm not going to make the tackle if he stays in bounds. Then he could take one step out of bounds, like we're saying. We could get that. I've always thought, Terry, I know we brought this up a long time ago. I don't like this sliding rule at all.
I don't like the sliding rule at all. I
don't think you should be able to slide. Why should you be able to? I guess it's more of it's supposed to be like taking a knee and you're in full motion. But if you're running, you shouldn't be taking a knee, right?
And you're sliding, and half of the guys coming on to him are facing him.
Full speed.
And I'm supposed to stop and jump over you because if I hit you, it's roughing.
So one of the folks that the Panthers fans will cry their ever-loving minds out about is Cam getting hit by that Bronco in the Super Bowl, and I've pointed out numerous times that Cam came down
he did.
To his level. That guy left his feet with Cam standing up and aimed for his torso, and Cam dipped down into it and got hit in the face.
The defensive guys, all of them are doing that now. The quarterback can do more punishment to them because they're trying to hold up.
Same thing happened in a playoff game in college where Ohio State had a blitz. Trevor Lawrence dips his head.
Right.
Yeah.
And heads come together, and they call a penalty. Of course, Dorco's over there screaming like a baby and gets a call. But I'm just saying, if you lower your head, why is the penalty on the defensive guy?
They have to take. Honestly, a smart quarterback would do a lot of that. I bet some of them do. Terry, I threw a pick in JV against Maiden. The guy he beat me to the corner. He was about to score a touchdown, right? One of his guys was coming up the sideline right behind him celebrating. I immediately stopped on the field and let him run into my back. The referee threw it and called the touchdown back. He didn't block me, and I saw him coming, and I kind of moseyed on over there like, oh, I'm not going to catch him. And I just stopped. Boom, he ran right over me, tripped. We all fought. It was right in front of the Maiden bitch. They lost their minds, too. But they called it back. What you're saying, the Trevor Lawrence thing, Tom, a quarterback, if he's smart, and you're protecting yourself, too.
Yeah.
When you duck, you're going to move. And that's the whole thing about the defenseless wide receivers. He's got a helmet and pads on. He's not defenseless running across this route, running across the middle. And they've tried. We talked to the Ty Law stuff and the Peyton Manning, and they tried to increase scoring. Guys, guess what they haven't done? And I wanted to point this out before we got into it. Was the scoring is down. They're not talking about it. They're trying not to talk about it. But the scoring, folks, is down this year. Let's go over here. And the easiest thing to do is just look at the defense points allowed, Terry. And we've talked for years what the median, or mean median average, whatever mean median mode is always around. 24, 23, 22, 23, 24. All right. Last year, I'm going to do last year real quick, just for a note. Last year in the 2021 regular season, defensively, four teams, Terry, gave up less than 20 points. Okay? 4 teams gave up less than 20 points a game on defense last year. Fast forward to 2022.
Check that out.
How many teams is on there under 20?
14, 15.
Is that not silly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 teams under 20 points a game on defense. It's half these quarterbacks are awful. I mean, they are just terrible, and half we've got some good defense. In the NFL, so now that's how many that was I say, Terry, 15 or 14?
14 and
15,
then 4
16.
last year.
So now the mode has shifted 2 points, or the mean, whichever one it is, to the Commanders at 22, and it's usually 24. So they're down just 2 points right there in the middle, but you've got 14 teams under 20, and last year there was only 4. And we could go back every year. I bet there's only 3 or 4 because there's only like a few elite defenses. Let's go back 2020 real quick. 3. 2019. Got quite a few in 2019. Looked like about 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2019 was a big year for defense. And then 5 the year before that. So again, they don't want we talked me and Coach Jones the other day about defensive pass interference. What do you do if you're a DB now? Sometimes
I don't know what to tell them to
they
do.
might call a face guard and they might not. If I turn around and look and run into the guy, they call it. Though sometimes they don't. Sometimes they let guys, Tom, in close games at the end of the games, they let them touch each other down the field and they'll let them hand golf, fight each other and push each other. And the refs will say, no call. But in the first quarter, if you run by me and I just give you a high five, illegal touching of the receiver downfield. It's so inconsistent that it just drives me crazy as saying if I'm playing defender, what would I do? The rough and the passer is a little bit different. The pass interference drives me nuts.
Well, I want to mention something else as we talking about this also. Another thing that's bothering me about the NFL is when a receiver catches a ball in the end zone, he's got to steadily have control when he's falling out of bounds. He cannot lose it. He can't bobble it. He can't do anything with it. But as a runner, all you got to do is just barely sneak it over the thing, even if it gets knocked out of my hands as I'm reaching, but it's good. It's a touchdown. Now, there's totally 2 different things here that we're talking about. I think a runner must clearly establish that he scored plus have control of the ball like the receiver has to have control of the ball. I don't like the just holding it over the line and I scored a touchdown, even if I'm reaching and all of a sudden somebody knocks it clean out of my hand. I'm not down, but all I had to do is just barely inch it over the line. Those are 2 totally different things that I've seen happen this year.
So
should not happen.
You're wanting
even the runner should have established the ball after he scored the touchdown. He shouldn't fumble it. He shouldn't do anything with it. I mean, he's not down, so all he has to do is just sneak it over there. You know. I mean,
that's been the rule since like football started.
I know it has, but that's dumb.
It's a fundamental rule.
Absolutely dumb, Tom.
So you're saying it should be akin to the completion of the catch, like when the guy catches the ball.
You got a receiver
he hits
who
the
has
ground
to
and the
catch.
ball comes out.
Yeah, if he has not established that he's got it all the way through the catch.
The difference is, I know, Terry, the running back has already established that he has the ball in possession of the ball.
Yeah, but it just got knocked out of his hand, and he was not
after
down.
He scored.
He was not down.
After he scored.
That's bullcrap.
So, Terry, if he runs into the end zone and gets tackled and fumbles, then you're going to say it's not a touchdown. You want the
That's how it should be. You did not really establish yourself.
How many seconds
into the end
Terry,
zone?
How many seconds do you have to hold on the ball before the other team's
We're
allowed to strip
asking
it out
a
of your hands?
receiver to make the catch.
I can't believe where we're
Terry,
at.
is weed legal in Lincoln County?
It's
Yeah, this is we as a group, Tom. You're in on this. And you are volunteered to be with my group.
I think you're high.
So.
I think you're high. That's all I got to say. But anyway.
At least, Terry, after the show, I want the number to your dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
He must be pretty good. Well, looking at the defenses, how about the Panthers? Fired their coach, Tom, and they got better defense than the Browns. And the Los Angeles Rams.
We have
23.9. The Panthers defense has played pretty well. They're right in the middle of it. They're average. They're not great. Oh, that was 2018. Never mind. Get back to reality. Panthers real
the Browns
defense.
are probably
there we go.
round last.
Yeah, they're not doing too well. Panthers giving up 24. Browns giving up 25 a game right now. Tom.
But is that not bad? If you are in the NFL and you're only giving up 24, your offense should be able to score 24.
Well, for 40 years, it's been the average.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Not now. Well, again, I'm going to pull the guys up in a minute, but the quarterback play, guys, is just
abysmal,
terrible. Yeah. It is.
Detroit giving up 34, but they're scoring 40.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the Browns have had so many just brain hemorrhages on defense. I mean, it's just guys running wide open. That Jets game, terrible. And then the run defense, they have problems with defensive tackle. Atlanta gashed them last week. I forgot who they played. Not San Diego. LA Chargers gashed them on the ground. And LA Chargers came in there, Terry, and had the worst running in the league. They were averaging less than 3 yards a carry, and they ran for over 200 yards against Cleveland. I mean, it's just Tom, it's hard to watch. It's terrible.
I will say this for Tom, if the Browns defense had showed up this year, they would be 5-0.
At all.
The thing about it is, Tom, you've lost 3 games by combined. Do you know the answer?
Maybe 5 points.
6.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
3 games by combined 6 points.
And you got the idiot play calling at the end of the last game where, LA Chargers try to go for it on 4th and 2, which was idiotic. So I was like, okay, just find Cooper, right? Get a couple plays. What do? They run the ball and waste half the time. And then they try a 54-yard field goal, and then they're blaming the rookie kicker for missing a 54-yard field goal. That's the idiot head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's calling the plays. I mean, that's not stupid. That's beyond stupid. Just throw the ball. If it's an incomplete pass, the clock stops.
Well, there's 2 games on there you should have never lost, and that was to the Jets. I could take the Chargers loss because they're decent. But when you lose to the Jets and lose to the Falcons, no better than what neither one of those are right now, to me, that's a big difference.
The Chargers late in that game had like a 10 or 12 play drive. And all on the run.
Before you go poo-pooing on the Jets.
Oh, I'm looking at that. You got
Before
them
you
at
go
number 14.
poo-pooing in the Jets, they're in the playoffs right now. They're the 5 seed in the AFC.
For all Jet fans, that's good.
Jets. That's what I'm saying about folks. There is going to be a few playoff teams that aren't any good, and they're going to be blown out of the playoffs. The Jets right now, folks, are the 5 seed in the AFC. That's all you need to know. Jets are the 5 seed.
Well, they wouldn't be if
Miami's the 6 seed. They don't even have a quarterback right now, and they're still the 6 seed. Chargers are the 7 right now. Baltimore 4 and 3. I can pull these up here for you, the actual stats, if you want to see them, Terry. There's your AFC standings, playoff standings. Bills would have the 1 seed, Kansas City 2, Tennessee 3, Baltimore 4, Jets 5, Miami 6. Right now, Tom,
Oh, Cleveland, number 12.
The 12 seed, and we're 6 points away from being undefeated.
Well,
that's
your coaching. That's you. And I blamed a lot on Joe Woods, but I'll put that last loss against the Chargers straight on Kevin Stefanski's shoulders for calling that running play, which was just beyond stupid. Who does that? You got no timeouts. You have 0 timeouts. There's about 30 seconds left to go. You're around the 40-yard line,
Dallas,
and you
run a quarterback sneak, won't they? In a playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond stupid. I mean, not stupid. It's beyond stupid's not a strong enough word. I mean, it's like, how are you a pro coach and you make that call? I mean, I'm kind of just losing faith in his play calling. I mean, you might have to turn that over to somebody else. I mean, I just.
So y'all gonna hunt another coach?
No, I said the play. I didn't say new coach. I said the play calling.
What's bad, Tom? Again, if the defense has shown up, if they're one of the 14 teams giving up less than 20 a game, you're at least 3 or 4 wins. Not 5-0.
I'll give the defense credit that they got off the field on the 4th down, made a great play on 4th down, and then you. All you need is a couple of passes. Throw the football. What did the Jets do to us when they beat us? every single play they got out of bounds. That's because Joe Woods doesn't know what he's doing either. But if you go back and watch the tape, every single play, Terry, out of bounds. Say you're out of bounds, not out of bounds. Did you not learn from the teams that beat you? I mean, how dumb are you?
So they lost by 1 of the Jets, 3 to Atlanta, 2 to the Chargers. But here's the point that I was making. They gave up 30 and 31 in 2 of the losses, and then they lost to the Falcons by 3, which is just stupid.
Yeah, when I look at y'all's record, though, I kind of wonder how good you can be, because you lost to Carolina, they fired their coach, and you lost to Pittsburgh, and they can't figure out a quarterback over there. So, I mean, are you really – you really might not be good.
Kenny Pickett.
But the thing, what I'm saying is, Terry, they could be 5-0 with Brissett. It doesn't even matter how many more points at this point, if they're averaging 25 to 30, is Deshaun Watson going to add to it?
That's right.
That you need defense right now, Tom. If we had the Cowboys defense, it would be 15-0 or 5-0.
They need
5-0 right now.
Yeah, they need the interior of the defense. When you're getting gashed in the run game, the interior of the defense has not been good. Linebacker play, they just traded for another guy. The linebacker play hasn't been real good. So I mean, if your defensive line and your linebackers don't play well, and teams can run the ball on you, it's all on tape, right, Terry? They're going to see that, and guess what they're going to do? We're going to run the ball till you can stop it. You know?
Whoops, Tom hit the computer button.
I'm sorry, buddy.
In the NFC, guys, sorry for the folks at home, had a little audio issue there for a second. In the NFC, it's pretty much chalk. I picked 6 of these 7 teams that's in the playoffs. Right? No, I didn't. The Rams is sitting there on the outside, and then the Saints. I had Giants and Cowboys out of the playoffs. But the NFC East has 13 wins, 15 wins, something like that. Ron Rivera threw his quarterbacks under the bus. But let's talk a little bit for the next few minutes.
I thought he was trying to protect him.
Is that what you thought?
That's what I thought. I got so tired of hearing him. I'm like, man, this guy, he did the exact same thing. Just walk out.
Is it going to be PJ?
Yes.
Playing quarterback now because PJ. I want to say PJ Walker.
How do you feel if you're Steve Wilkes sitting there? Hey, you get a head coach this week. Quarterbacks PJ Walker. Thanks, guys.
I mean, Baker hadn't played well. I mean, it's not like Baker hadn't played well.
Do y'all remember when he's supposed to come back?
I don't know, but he will be the starter as soon as he comes back.
4 weeks. Darnold might be the starter.
That's what we're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Darnold, yeah, he will be the starter.
And it's something that
Steve Wilkes says Baker Mayfield may be the backup this Sunday, Tom.
Baker is probably on his way out of the NFL if his luck doesn't change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if his luck, now he may get lucky and find a place to play, but he went to Carolina, and I mean, he's just stunk up the joint. I mean, they're not. I think they need to roll him out more often. They're trying to put him in the pocket. I mean, the guy's 6 foot tall. He's not going to be a pocket passer. You look at, your Russell Wilson types and all that. And they can throw from the pocket sometimes, but you got to roll them out too. You got to roll out.
I'll tell you, Baker's why he gets all those passes knocked down. He telegraphs his passes with his feet. He's got happy feet, Terry. He looks like Troy Aikman after he got concussions in his career. He's always been that way. It's always aggravating me how he just pump from the feet. But what he does, Tom, he's got this big, long, wide stride. So when he does get ready to play, say if you're waiting on a pass and then you turn your shoulders, well, the whole defensive line sees you turn, and then you take a big step. Yeah, hands up, boys. As soon as I say, every time Baker takes a big step with that front leg, I know the pass is coming. And his release, he's got a good arm, but it's this. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a dart. There's a little round into us. So that's why he gets them blocked. And it telegraphs. It's easily telegraphed to me.
And it is probably something that can be fixed with working on fundamentals, but I don't know. I don't know what his mindset is towards that.
So this says, despite reports that Mayfield could be out 2 to 6 weeks, Steve Wilkes says Wednesday, the first pick of the draft, he didn't rule him out of being available Sunday. He's very tough. We'll wait and see the final report on the MRI. The only other quarterback on the roster is Jacob Eason. I ain't Tony Eason's son, is it?
Not to my knowledge.
I mean, how many Easons are there, though? You know what I mean? Left ankle sprain. He said he threw the ball well in practice, had a good morning workout. He looked good. Strength coach took him through an intense workout. Good movement, change of direction, really trying to put pressure on the ankle. So you still may see some Baker Mayfield Sunday. I don't know. He may even walk out there and start. If he's available to play, he'd be backup. Why wouldn't he be available to start?
I've seen this movie before. Baker Mayfield trying to play hurt, and it doesn't end well. So if I was Baker, just go on IR, get healthy.
Well, he can't. He really can't, Tom,
because they don't have anybody available.
Well, not because of the team. It's because, like you just said like 2 minutes ago, if he loses his job, he might be out of the NFL.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm telling you, if he's legitimately hurt, it might make it. That's the only thing that could make it even worse. If he's legitimately hurt and tries to play, I think it in the long run it hurts him worse. So yeah, you're right. I mean, he is fighting for his career, but he may just have to go, okay, I'll take backup money, do like a Jameis Winston. Here's my $2 million deal. Give me a break, give me a chance, and then hope something falls your way. That may be the only thing that saves him right now.
If he wants to stay in the NFL.
He wants to stay in the NFL.
As far as interim coach Steve Wilkes goes, like, you know, usually when you get an interim job, you get a chance. If you win some games, you might get a chance to be rehired. The comment basically was he'd have to do a fantastic job, basically. And with the quarterback situation that it is right now, Terry, I don't know what that even means as far as from Tepper. A lot of people, they're accusing this, Tom, this is their way of interviewing a minority candidate, and Tepper will hire whoever he wants. Sean Payton rumors are flying. Ain't no way.
Dabo Swinney.
I would bet anything in the world there's no way. Sean Payton, why would he come to the Carolina? Like you've played with Drew Brees. Yeah, let me come over and do this.
Yeah, with no quarterback.
No.
Yeah.
If Sean Payton comes anywhere, there will be a good quarterback wherever he's at, y'all. He's not coming to build and draft a guy and hope he's good. Do you think Dabo would leave that?
You don't want Dabo
for that.
You don't want Dabo.
Well, I don't think he would want them.
I was getting ready to say that. Why would you do that? If you got a legit team in Clemson, why would you skip college to go to the NFL? And
let me tell you what. As much as I hate little Nicky, you want to compare his football knowledge to Dabo Swinney? And look what happened to Nick Saban in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Dabo Swinney would be a disaster. Absolute disaster. Maybe not as bad as Urban Meyer, but just a disaster wherever he goes. He needs to stay right there at Clemson where he can scream and throw his hat and act like an idiot, and the kids love him, and he can win 10 ball games every year.
You cannot be a good college coach and still win a lot of games in college, right?
Oh, yeah. I think so, because
talent. Clemson, that's what I'm saying. If you're at Clemson, Alabama, if you're at one of these schools, you can still go 6 and 6, 7 and 5 based on talent alone. Just like I can't remember which coach it was. The guy from Louisville come. You saying you're playing Alabama every week in the NFL or Spurrier or whoever it was. Yeah,
and plus,
every one of these teams can beat you. Not like on Saturdays where you talk to your alumni and drink some whiskey sours before the game.
And not everybody. and you're not going to get 5 number 1 draft picks every year.
No, right. Well, I've got better players than you because guys think I'm cool.
Because guys think I'm cool and funny, and I act like an idiot. That's Dabo Swinney. I mean, it works. He's made a lot of money. He's had a lot of success. I'm not going to take anything, but it wouldn't work in the NFL.
I do got one quick point on the. We talked last night about a lot of these local running backs, a lot of running backs in general. The recruiting is weird about size and speed and where you want the guys and blah blah blah. With today's transfer portals, take whatever offer you can get. If you get injured, they were talking about McCombs. So he could go to whatever college McCombs want to. Spend a year, let them pay to get your ankle better, and then transfer wherever you want after that. That's the good news about the transfer portal, that it can save kids who've gotten injured, who may have been to a better college, and then be like, no, not anymore. Your career's over now because of that. So I think that will help with that. Let's pick some games. 49ers at Falcons. 49ers favored by 4.5 in Atlanta. Terry.
49ers.
49ers for me. All right, this is going to come down between 2 or 3 points because these two teams. Patriots at Browns. Browns favored by 2.5. Terry.
Well, I mean, Browns, this is do or die. You can't go to 2 and 4 and expect to even have a chance in your division. So this has got to be a victory, Browns.
Well, if they could stop the run, but I'll go Browns at home. But in Patriots, Mac Jones might not play, right? He's not playing.
I honestly don't think I can name. We'll see if Terry could too. Can you name 5 New England Patriots?
No.
I don't know if I can name 2.
No. That's what I'm saying.
I can name Mac Jones, and I honestly don't know if I know another New England Patriot.
They're not in the limelight
Belichick?
like they used to be. Belichick.
Yeah, I'm going Browns on this one. I don't know any Patriots. And they'll win by 30. Jets at Packers. Surprise team of the year. Surprise, surprise. The Jets. Jets in Green Bay. I guess it's Zach Wilson is running the show now, right, Terry?
I guess.
Well, he's in Packerland in Lambeau today. It's only 50 degrees and looks like a little rain. Tom, what you got?
Give me the Packers. I'm not buying into the Jets just yet. They got the one joke win. They beat Pittsburgh. It doesn't have a quarterback, so give me the Packers.
I did the same thing on the road at Green Bay. Nah.
Even though Green Bay squandered a big lead last week against the Giants.
I don't think any of these teams too good. They're both in the playoffs right now. I want to see the Jets defense, middle of the pack. Giving up 24. Aaron Rodgers wins at home in this one. Jaguars and Colts. Colts favored by 2.5 at Lucas Oil. They're 2-2-1 against the 2-3 Jaguars. Tommy, who you got in this match?
Give me the home team. Both these teams are in Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Colts at home.
And I also remember a couple of weeks ago, Houston shut out the Colts,
right,
24-0. Ugh, this is after starting.
Jaguars
the
got
season,
the number 5 defense in the NFL.
That's what
Colts
I'm
got
saying.
number 10 though.
I don't know whether they can play that good inside, so I'm gonna take the Colts inside.
Competitive game. I will not pick Trevor Lawrence. Colts with the win. Vikings and Dolphins. Vikings favored by 3.5 in Miami. I have no idea who's playing quarterback for the Dolphins today, but I'm going to pick the Vikings before y'all even get into that. I like the Vikings before the year started. They're 4-1. Tommy.
Vikes.
2 franchises whose fans have been known for wearing grocery bags on their heads. Bengals and Saints.
The Bungles and the Aints.
Face off today or tomorrow in New Orleans at 1:00. Bengals favored by 2.5 on the road. I believe that's Andy Dalton against Joe Burrow. Terry?
I got the Bengals winning on the road.
Yeah, I like the Bengals too.
I'm going the home crowd on this one. They're going to rally against the Bengals and he'll be jumping in New Orleans. Giants and Ravens, a rematch of Kerry Collins' Super Bowl a long, long time ago. Panther fans, I bet they never thought that was going to happen. Ravens at Giants. Ravens favored by 5.5 in Rutherford. And Ravens they've been just a roller coaster to watch. The Giants for real, and they're going to win today. Terry.
Well, this is a game. I mean, you're 3-2, but 2 games the Ravens have gave away.
Mm-hmm.
They should be 5-0, so I'm taking the Ravens.
No, I think the Giants are for real. I think the Ravens are a little. They're hard to count on late in the game. Give me the Giants to go to 5-1.
Giants give up 18 a game. Baltimore giving up 23. And Baltimore's favored by 5. Ugh. What does Vegas like about that so much? I don't. That's like one of those college ones, Terry. That's a little confusing on me on that one. Giants at. I don't like Daniel Jones at all. Lamar Jackson with the win on this one. Ravens over Giants. Beat no Duke player to be the MVP. Buccaneers over Steelers. Steelers in a free fall. Figuring out what's going on there. Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, Tom Brady and the gang's favored by 9.5. Will had all kinds of shots at Andre last night about Giselle, but I just we'll keep that where it is. Terry, who you got? Bucks
Tampa
or Steelers?
Bay. Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh can't figure out who they want the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tommy will win this one. Tampa Bay. New coach Steve Wilkes and P.J. Walker head to L.A. Do they shock the world? Does P.J. Walker? Rams favored by 10, $33. Terry.
This would be a complete blowout. Rams win by at least 20.
Yeah, Rams.
Y'all scare me with that. This could be something stupid. But I better go Rams. Rams over Panthers for the victory. Panthers are 1-4. Looking for that maybe number 1 pick next year. Cardinals and Seahawks, AFC West Battle of the Birds. Arizona favored by 2.5 on the road. Tom's favorite player, Kyler Murray, goes to Seattle. Tommy, what you got?
I mean, the Cards. I don't trust the Seahawks. They're up and down. Got a pretty good. Well, it seems like some days they play good defense and some days they get blown out. They're just hard to put your finger on. What's their defensive rank? I know you love to look that up.
Which team?
The Seahawks.
Seahawks on defense.
Middle of the pack.
Next to last.
Yeah, it seems like they
31 a game.
I think they had one game where they only gave up like 6-7 points.
Arizona, those giving up 25 a game.
I was getting ready to say, that's why I'm taking Seahawks at home to win this one.
All right, I got Arizona.
I'm going to go Seahawks too, and not because of defense in this game, because of offense. Do you guys know who has the best completion percentage in the NFL? Geno Smith.
How about that?
75%.
Probably because they don't let him throw anything past 5 yards.
Tom says that. Geno Smith third in yards per completion.
Really?
There's
Wow.
always
Wow.
that guy.
Wow.
I used to say that about Tony Romo.
I tell
Terry.
you,
Romo's
I'll stand corrected. Maybe they're throwing short ones and they're running a long way. That's
In
surprising.
fact, Tua leads the NFL in longest most yards per catch or pass. Jalen Hurts second, Geno third, Josh Allen fourth, Mac Jones fifth, Jimmy Garoppolo sixth in longest yards there. I'm going Seahawks on this one as well. Bills at Chiefs, AFC game of the week for the number 1 overall seed. Maybe this could be a tiebreaker coming down the line. Buffalo is favored in Kansas City by 2.5. Tommy.
Oh, give me the Bills. Getting a little revenge today.
And I'm going the same thing. I think the Bills also win.
Buffalo giving up 12 points a game. Kansas City giving up 25 points a game. Everything says Buffalo, but except the home team. It's hard to pick Kansas City on home. I'm going Chiefs at home. Tough to pick against them. All right, Cowboys and Eagles, another first-place game. We got back-to-back games Sunday to watch first-place matchups. Cowboys 4-1, Eagles 5-0. Cooper Rush comes into town against Jalen Hurts, who I just told you has the second highest yards per completions in the NFL. Tommy, who you got in this one? Dallas is third in defense. Philly is 7th. Dallas giving up 14, Philly 17, so field goal difference.
I tell you, Jalen Hurts playing well too. Cooper Rush playing well, but on the road, I just have to go with the Eagles. I don't know if Cooper Rush can go in there to Philadelphia and beat the Eagles, Terry.
And that's what you say. But when Lawrence was hearing about how good Hurts was, all he said was, he hasn't played us. So, Cowboys go in there and win.
Ain't no way I'm picking Cooper Rush, like Tom said, to go into Philadelphia. The crowd's going to be nuts. There may be some batteries or Coca-Colas or something thrown at Santa Claus or something lit on fire. Philly favored by 6.5. And honestly, Terry, I think Dak Prescott will be your quarterback next week after this one. After he gets beat by 20. Maybe. You think they're going to bring Dak back in?
Oh, he's a good backup sitting over our way.
That's what Terry keeps saying. We'll see. Buys this week, Lions, Titans, Raiders, and Texans. Monday Night Football, Broncos and Chargers. Tommy.
Give me the Chargers at home.
Yeah, I'm also taking them. People talk about how Wilson's not doing it, but just like I said last week, when you do not have Lockett and you do not have Metcalf, and I can't figure out who your receivers are, Wilson, you can't win over, so Chargers win.
Chargers at home as well for me. All right, we got to finish up here with NASCAR playoffs this weekend. Terry, last week I got some highlights for you guys. Let me switch this over before I mess up with folks at home. NASCAR last week was in Charlotte at the Roval. I attended, and I do got some highlights actually from the race. We got pictures and all kinds of things to show you guys. Here, let's switch over here for the folks at home on YouTube. So a couple of fun picks here. Here's our shot, basically. I'll make that smaller.
That's a nice car sitting right there behind you.
Well, this is what I took this picture for, Terry. We timed it just right for you. I got picture, Tom. This is the last time you'll ever see the M&M's 18 in Charlotte.
Why? Who's changing sponsorship?
Changing teams, numbers, sponsorship.
Kyle is
changing
everything.
They didn't want him back. He's so awful.
And that did not have anything to do with it.
What did it have to do with it then, Terry?
It had nothing. Had nothing to do with all that.
You're not coming back to us, but we want you.
You're breaking up with me? No, I'm breaking up with you.
I took this for my buddy Jason, Terry. You see the Root Sports sponsor?
Yeah.
So I sent this to him while he's sitting on his sick bed. So here you go, buddy. You got a car sponsor. So this is basically our view, front row, in the turn one of the Roval, and then the last turn of the Roval. So we got usually now, Terry. This is what I'm gonna say. In the past, it has been action packed down there.
Yes, it has.
This is a boring race. This was a boring race. These cars are not working. I don't even think it was the guys being like cautious or anything. I just don't think whatever the car is doing, I don't think it's working, because I have seen this race, and I've seen like this. You see this turn where they're coming? We're going to show you there in a minute. I've seen tons of passing. I love this seat because in the past we've seen tons of passing in this spot. Now I'm going to show you. Here's a little video from it. Get a little audio going if I can, maybe. But this is the corner here.
Who is that cool guy? Look at him.
Now you see this little circular North Carolina thing right here, or Blue Cross Blue Shield sponsor right there, and I'm going to zoom in on this video in particular. Why, Terry? Have you ever seen this at a NASCAR race? Let's see if I can get to pause. All right. I know you can't see it because there's a pole in the way, but right behind that pole in that circle is a NASCAR official. Okay? They are 10 feet away from the track. Have you ever seen any official that close to action on the track?
I never have, but I mean, congratulations to him for being that close.
Oh, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. It was a she.
She.
And then it gets worse. She did not have a helmet on.
Oh.
So I've watched this whole race waiting for her to get injured. This is the safety emergency area. Terry, if you'll look over to the two fellas in the I ain't got them on this. I've got to pull them up. The two other fellas there in the shot here, they're wearing helmets. She is right here. You guys can't see her. I'm showing Terry and them right there in this circle. She is right here up against this wall. Any wreck that comes right here, she's involved in it. And the guys were turning off this corner. You see how fast they're coming off there. And I was actually talking on this. We don't have any of the sound up right now. That's okay. Yeah, Tom, hit the sound. I want to see if I hear how loud it is coming right by. I just want to feel like this is well for me. Maybe they knew there's no way she could get her. I mean, you know. I mean, they wrecked back there in the front. So you did get to see the wreck back there. Yeah. So the point I was making this in the past, Terry, we saw pass after pass, like all kinds of racing right here coming off this corner. And in this race, I can't count how many I saw. I don't know if I saw any, maybe one or two come off this corner for a pass. We did see that the wreck back there in the background. That was pretty fun. Once the end of the race started, and this is me being concerned. Was you watching?
Yes.
All right. So this is, I don't know if how you felt. With 10 laps to go, it was really boring. I looked over at Son and I go, there's going to be a caution about lap 6 or 5 or 6. On lap 6, Tom, a sign falls onto the track. And now we go in overtime,
pile
Terry.
them all up.
Everybody's back in line, and we're just running down into turn one. And I told Austin, I said that's the only thing that could have saved the race, and I believe they did that one.
And for Christopher Bell, that's all he needed. Thank you.
Oh yeah, he was happy. He's really happy about that. Yeah. So. All right,
the only way he could advance was to win.
I wanted to show a couple pictures. Here's Austin wanted to show him the new safety editions of the cars. We obviously didn't. I want to show this guy, Terry, sitting behind us in the tower. He had every flag they have. And every time they threw a flag during this race, Terry, we looked behind us to see what it was because this guy was on top of it. He's got the red flag. He's got the yellow flag. This guy was having a good time back here in the suites. I just wanted to put him on the show today. Oh, that was pretty funny. There's back here in the turn. I was just going to show that turn. Now, here's the last. I did get the last 2 laps fully on. Yeah, here's the restart, Terry. Well, I'm going to hit my sound again, Tom.
Harvick takes the jump at the green flag as they dash to turn 1. Christopher Bell, the big tire advantage.
So, Terry, we had none of this for 100 laps. And then NASCAR throws the flag at the end, and this is the last one. There's no yellow flag here because it's a road course.
Yeah.
Unless they block the road, they will not
you
throw
get
the
all
flag.
the way back around to it.
There's and here they come. The rest of them, here's the leader. You saw the wreck, they're back there in the circle. Here comes the leader. This might have been the one that Chase wrecked. I got the one on Chase wreck on video somewhere there. I can't remember if I posted it or not. I put them all online just right before the show. Here's the next one. So you can see I got a great view coming right at us from this is the lap they started wrecking there through the drive, whatever you call it, the chicane. I'll get all the vocabulary right. All right, Terry, where are we at this week? Is it Vegas?
Yep, Las Vegas.
All right, so stop that for everybody. And we'll do our real quick picks here. This is a cutoff race. Terry, what you got here in Vegas?
Oh, here we go again. Vegas, Elliott. I think we'll pull out.
I was going to go with Elliott too. I'm surprised you did, Terry.
Let me pull up the cutoff line to see who's on the cutoff, because those guys usually tend to somehow win. Terry, got a lot of suspensions and stuff this week. Any comments on any of that, or any of the fines and penalties? And
if you're cheating, you should be punished.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's right. It's both ways. Just don't get caught.
Allmendinger gets a full ride, Terry, and then last week he led a lot of the race, and then this week he's on the pole. Allmendinger is on the pole this week. At Vegas, I don't know if he can win there, can he?
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Outside looking in, Blaney, Byron, Hamlin, and Briscoe, all up 3 points, 5 points, and 9. Elliott looks like he's the only one solidly locked in. Logano, Chastain, and
Christopher Bell up at number 4. That's the only way he could have got in. Last week was winning. He did.
He's in. So, Terry, pick, you said?
Oh, I took Elliott.
Y'all both going Chase Elliott on this? Yeah. I don't think he's going to win this one. He don't need to. I'm going to go Joey Logano on this one. He needs a win. He don't need the win, but he usually races up near the front when he needs to, when he has to. So I'm going to go Logano.
Look at some of the new guys in this poll. Trapping.
Yep.
Chastain.
Yeah, Chastain's third.
Yeah, Briscoe.
He pissed everybody off this
all
year.
Them guys. Yeah.
Do you think they'll let him win the championship, Terry?
No.
You hear that, Tom? They will wreck him.
Denny Hamlin's still in there, but Kyle Busch will take him out.
All right, folks, we went way over time. Sorry about this. We'll see you next week. KTCBroadcasting.com. Hit those. Ooh.